you're like, I don't know that he's going to get through there, because you're stuck looking at it going, am I watching what I'm watching? You know? And then the third time that I saw, he busts right through, glass shatters everywhere, and that's when our news director, Kelly Groff, was like, all right, everyone get the out of here. And that's when we all evacuated all at once.
And I'm sure you mentioned the security guard.
Oh, Anita.
What a role she did in saving. And Anita is about this tall, maybe this tall, and she saved everybody's lives. And, you know, this is something that she has to deal with, because a lot of times people show up at the station and they do not have appointments. So she's kind of like the gatekeeper to let people come in. And today she saved so many lives.
But just also talk about the what he said when he tried to pull the doors open.
Yeah.
He said, I am God, right? Or something like that? Is that Mike, one of our directors, Mike Marion, said that? He was, to let me in, let me in, let me in, and obviously we didn't. And he's pulling the doors, and he said something like, I am God. And then he got in his truck, and then he went, boom, right into the station. And we actually have video of it where you're going to show when we can get back into Channel 2 and we can seize our own signal and our own equipment and put on a show. We will put on a show, and we will show you some of the most incredible stuff that we caught from different angles of the building as we were running out of it, security video, all that kind of stuff that you're only going to see here, obviously. So,
and we really need to take this time to thank everybody who's been on Facebook and on Twitter worrying about us, wanting to know that we're okay.
Yeah, I got a lot of that today. Howard County Police, a lot of people tweeting and saying, you hope you guys are okay. You know, DNR police. I mean, all these people are getting tweets all day. And Twitter.
Viewers who watch us, who feel like family.
Twitter broke my phone at some point today, you know.
Well, the thing about it, he stole the truck from the Beltway at York Road and came all the way down. Was he looking for a television station? Did he do it at random?
I guess we don't know, right? I mean, if he called him mentally challenged, right? The chief did.
Yeah.
So I guess we don't know why he chose a station. I don't know. Was it channel? Who knows? Who knows? If he's disturbed, I guess there could be no rhyme or reason to what he did.
We also don't know that this was the first place that he stopped. You know what I mean?
We may know that. I mean, he got in the truck, right? So the landscaping company I called today didn't want to comment because I saw the logo when it came in, and our photographer Bill Fink got a shot of it from across the way, and I looked at it. I called him up, found out where they were. They're in Montgomery County. He didn't want to comment on anything, which is fine. He wants to stay away from this as far as possible. But the truck was stolen. He had no control over it. The reason why it was stolen by 695, like the chief said. This was a company that the state contracts for to do roadside landscaping, a commercial landscaping company.
And nobody was in at the time.
Nobody was in at the time. Guy jumps in, speeds down York Road. I mean, we're right here. It's like you would have to think he knew that we were a television station because he passed by how much from the 695 down there, around the circle, all these businesses. I guess he meant to go to a television station. He had the wherewithal to watch other stations report what was going on in our station, sitting in our edit room. So, I mean, I guess he had some sort of, inkling about.
But a lot of it we won't really know until police have an opportunity to talk to him.
Yeah, well, sure.
Where's Kelly Groff? Bring Kelly out here, because, all right, we'll bring her out here, because we want to talk to her, because, again, she's the one that gave us a warning sign.
She was awesome.
We also talked to Anita. We'll run that interview over and over again. We talked to her right after it happened. Her son came right here, and he was standing right over here, so we made sure the police escorted him back to see his mom, that his mom was okay, and you know what? She's a hero.
She is a hero, of course. Her and Kelly Groff, our news director, were telling us to get out of the station. And we did it. They did it in such like a panicked uniform, but it was loud enough that we were all like, what? And everyone in the newsroom just left,
I think, first off, when it happened, is this really happening? Yeah. Second thought was, is this really happening? Third thought,
is
no.
Is he going to get in the building? He's not going to be able to get in the building. I mean, I don't want to underestimate to our viewers that, or where are we going, Lamont?
Okay, we're going to get out of the street here because they're trying to open York Road up now.
But I don't want to underestimate the power it took for this man to get into our station. Like the front doors isn't just a double door. We have a glass vestibule that sticks out, and he went through that glass vestibule that has two other double doors. So he really had to ram that thing a lot. I mean, last count was 5 times, and it was the last 3 times I was standing next to you at our newsroom doors.
We felt it. We felt the thump, and we're going, what in the world?
On here? And we said, he's not going to be able to get through all that glass. There's no way. And this is what you're thinking, right? Because you're disconnected from what's actually happening. And then when he busted through, and I saw the truck in our lobby, I was like, it's time to go.
Had he made a right turn into the newsroom?
Who knows?
But he went upstairs?
Yeah, he ran upstairs. At some point we thought he was armed. It turns out he wasn't, but I mean, what a day.
our general manager, Bill Hooper, was upstairs, and he was locked inside his office and knew there was somebody on the loose.
Yeah.
Police knocked on the door, and he said he opened up the door, and they weren't fooling around.
Jeez. And I'll tell you, one of our IT guys, our new IT guy, Nick, was in the basement this whole time, had no idea anything was going on. He said, I saw him. He came to the Marriott, and I was like, oh, my God, you're safe. Gave him a big hug, and he's like, I said, what happened? He's like, I was there the whole time. I was blasting my music, just hanging out, getting my work done or whatever, because our IT office is in the basement, pretty much away from everything else. I was like, how did you, apparently Baltimore County Police were able to work with him in the building to get him out at some point, but he was actually an asset for them, as they said. So just incredible. It's an incredible day. But it's not often that we are the story, right, sir?
Right, no. There are 3 stories to this building that goes back to 1961. You got the basement, that's where we park our trucks, our live trucks and our vehicles, and then the second floor, it's sales and the newsroom, and then up on the top floor, it's really the general office.
Yeah, creative services, general manager's office.
And here comes the suspect. They're taking away the suspect right now.
Are you rolling in your camera, Tony?
Man, what a feeling that is. The man that kind of destroyed our work day. We're trying to make a living. The man's being led away with mental health issues, going to be checked out right now.
Jamie, he did have the wherewithal to answer one of our employees' cell phones. Up in accounting, Jeannie's husband called, and he answered her phone and said, who is this? And then he also did it when Tom Bofelter from our accounting department as well, as he staked out in the offices upstairs, just kind of roaming the building.
It's an amazing thing how the people upstairs got by this guy, and police were up there and they escorted them out. And we have a back entrance, and that's where everybody just poured out of that back entrance.
Everybody got out quickly. Everybody got out safely. By the time I arrived here, you guys were all in the front of St. Pius Church, just waiting. I know we have some video, and we had an evacuation in place. That's what Lamont's telling us, practicing and drills to get people out of the building safety. You were
just
here.
did it last month.
That's right.
Evacuation plan.
But you have to have a plan because you don't think something like this is going to happen, but it does. Kelly Groff, our news director.
All right, I'm going to tell you.
I want to be on TV.
Yeah, you're tough. Tough. Listen. What you did today, you saved lives. We'll get to that in a moment. But first, tell me the story, where you were. You were walking through the lobby and you saw him.
I was. I was going to the restroom, and I saw him in the lobby, and the front desk was doing their job, telling him to stay put. He couldn't come in because he didn't have an appointment, and that's the rule. That's what we practice. And then as I was coming back through, I heard somebody yell, he's coming through. So the only way back to the newsroom is to the lobby. So I ran over to the lobby door to the newsroom, and he came driving through. Now, luckily he didn't make it through on his first pass. He had to go a couple of times, so I got into the newsroom. First I told everybody to go into my office, and then when he rammed the wall, I was like, okay, everybody get out, let's go. But we practice it, we do these drills, and everybody went to the back parking lot where they're supposed to go. So
Anita said she saw anger in the guy. Did you see the same?
You know, when I walked out into the lobby, it had already started, and so our general manager had said, you know what, everybody stop looking at him, just go about your business. So I did. And then I came back through. She had already called police at that point in time, you know, because he wasn't leaving. Before he ever even rammed, she had called police. So.
But he rammed it at least 5 times, and you're thinking, this guy can't be coming through.
Once I saw the second time, I stopped thinking about that guy because we had a newsroom full of people, so we had to get out of the building. And everybody, sales went out, everybody went running. So.
When you saw him go by in the ambo right now, what was going on through your head?
It's been a heck of a day, and you know, I love this family and I love this station, and we're good people, and we didn't deserve to go through this today.
Pardon me. With Anita and with Kelly telling us to get out, it saved our lives. It's as simple as that. I know we practice it, and if I can bring another employee, come on, everybody else.
Hey guys,
yeah,
we would
go
like to walk and talk across the
All right, we're going to do that.
so we
Let's
can
go.
start making our way back to
Again,
the station.
we want to thank the Phoenix for beaming us back to Baltimore here. I don't know how they're doing it, but they're doing it. This is York Road. That's police. All right, this is York Road right now. It has been shut down all the way, I'm saying about all the way up to Towson University, all the way down to the city line. It has been shut down because we didn't know what this man had inside the building at the time. And it comes to find out he had a golf club, but still, that is a weapon. Nearby St. Pius. The employees here at Channel 2 ran right next door to tell St. Pius not to come outside and to stay put. So this man swiped this truck all the way up on the Beltway, came down south on York Road here, and we can travel right up here. Look, the St. Pius Carnival's coming up. It's long been funny that the carnival, every time the carnival has a carnival here at St. Pius, it's always on Preakness weekend, and it always rains on them, at least one of those 3 days that they have it. And there's the carnival coming up, and they just put this Cub Scouts monument in. That was just a couple of days ago. There are all the employee cars that are parked up in time. We'll show you all this as we come along here. The alarm is still going off. You believe that? You can hear the alarm in the distance. Again, this is the flagpole that the Cub Scouts put up, and Baltimore County Police did a heck of a job. They were here quickly for us. They escorted us into the back parking lot, and then they took us behind the school, behind the brick structure of St. Pius to make sure that we were safe. They gave us water, and this is going to be emotional. Coming around this corner to see the place that we work. It was attacked today. Let's walk right on up. This is where the car came, and I don't know whether he must have gone this way to the left. But you can see that the front lobby here is torn up. You can see police still inside. I mean, this was a big glass structure that kind of protruded outside here, several feet. The alarm on the side of the building is still going off, and you can see some of the mangled metal right in front there. You don't see that truck, do you? That truck is buried inside the lobby. And again, police are still here. These are the employee cars that are parked and have been parked since midday, and they haven't budged. Can't get to them. You can see upstairs. Upstairs are the general offices here, the general manager, the human resources, a couple of editing suites, and that's where he was found, up in that part. And then down below, the nearest part to you here is the sales division, and then right across the way, that is where you'll find the newsroom. So Anita had enough sense to get up off of that security booth and just tell everybody to get out.
Jamie, you've been here more than 20 years. Ever in your wildest dreams would you have imagined something like this happening here?
I can't believe I'm looking at this. You know, when I first started, we had a pond. There was a big pond. Bill Finks over here, a photographer with us, he remembers it. Who else is there? Lamont remembers it. And we had a big pond that was stocked with fish. And he used to come in there and sit down. It was real nice and rolling water here. And then they removed that a couple of years after I was here. But this is just, it's an old building since 1961. And it's unbelievable.
A lot of people have been saying on Twitter and on Facebook pages today, I mean, is this a sign of the times? What have we come to? That someone would ram a truck through a place where people were working and also threaten harm?
I went to Tony, if you could turn around there. You see the railing? That's one of the other side of the railing must be gone, right?
Yeah,
right?
like it is. Yeah.
It's right over the bike.
Okay, there it is. Okay, you see that? So that's what. So the officer walking down there, that's one of the wheelchair ramps. So he went right up the middle, right up the middle. And they're steps, and they're about 4 inches deep, right? 4 inches deep. There's at least 1, 2, 3 levels. So he had to. Anita said, our security guard said, he went up once, came back, went up twice, couldn't get in, and then the third time, boom, he's in.
Determined to get inside the building, obviously, at all cost. And police basically were very, very patient. I mean, we were outside the building for how many hours while they had to take the SWAT team in and carefully go from room to room to room in the building to try to get the suspect to come out. And at one point, they had to use the canine dog to get him to come out.
Okay, now the officers are making us move back. Who's got stuff left inside? Who's got keys? Who's got cell phones?
I didn't get my phone.
You didn't even get your phone. I could imagine you got about 150. Amy,
Yes.
what's going on through your head?
You know, I was back in the investigative office and I had my headphones on. I was editing, so I'm listening to sound, and all of a sudden I hear people screaming, and Kelly Groft came running in the newsroom telling us, barricade yourself at first, and then she just started screaming, get out. So one of the producers and I we peeked our heads out of the office and ran. We ran the back way through the studio and out the back door.
Brian Tankersley, Tank, come, I'll talk to you. We won't have to see it yet. Come on. Brian Tankersley was up on the second floor, Amy. Listen to this. You look out, what'd you see?
I just saw the car moving up, and there was a lot of yelling and screaming. And
We can move back up.
I guess it was just a news photographer in me. He said, I have to get a camera, and the closest camera I had was my cell phone. So I just watched him crash into the station.
What'd you think?
I don't know. I was just thinking, what? I have to document this. A news photographer, you have to get the video. So that's all I was doing, was thinking about just getting video to document the story.
All right, we're going to show you what it looks like right out in front. The Baltimore County Police have told us it's okay to come up here. Again, that alarm is going off. I guess he came up through here. Is that what everybody thinks? He drove the truck right up through here instead of going the other way? So he drove the truck right up our alley. It's a little turnabout here. Usually you come off of York Road, you go up, and then you turn in here. But he came right up here. And this is what it looks like right now. Unbelievable. This is unbelievable. And there it is. I mean, he knocked out the railing. He went right up. Yay. So let's just take a look at what we see right now. Look at that truck. It looks like a dump truck, huh? And that thing is, how deep is it?
It's all the way back
That
to
is,
the back wall.
what's that?
It's almost all the way back to the back wall to where the pictures are. They're right up under the staircase, almost to the back wall.
So he's in there all the way.
It's wedged in pretty good back there.
If you take a look to your right, that's where Anita, our security guard, sits. And they were right there. That's where her booth is, right beyond the markings right there. And then the newsroom is beyond there. It's about 2 feet away from where she was sitting. And then we have a nice little lobby, and there where people come in and just sit down and make appointments. But to stand here and see this is unbelievable. Chris, when you look at this, what do you see?
The words don't even cover it. It's something I never thought I'd see at my own workplace. So it's impressive and a little disturbing at the same time.
Yeah. You can see the roof kind of all messed up too. Tank, you were saying you were on the second floor and you were shooting down, so you saw the truck come in.
Correct, yeah. Where I was editing, my station is right above the lobby. So yeah, I saw it come right in.
So you felt the thunder?
I felt the thunder, the shake, the rattle, the roll. I felt it all, yeah. It was crazy. And the screaming.
There was a lot of screaming. Let's go over here. Margie, where were you at the time?
I worked the night shift, so I was following Twitter and Facebook and trying to, like everyone else, trying to figure out what exactly was going on.
Here's our chief engineer, Paul Wilkinson, who's been around 90 years. Nothing like this.
Nothing like this ever. Never. I heard loud yelling, so I came down to the lobby, and Bruce was standing there not letting the guy in. Miss Anita was on the phone with 911. So I backed up Bruce, figuring he was going to try to get in, and if he got through Bruce, he wasn't going to get through me, but who knew? And he said, okay, if you're not going to let me in, I got something for you. So he left, and he got in the truck, and I said, okay, good, the guy's gone. And then the truck came down here, took a hard right-hand turn and went up, got hung up on that railing, backed up, and just kept working his way until he got through the lobby.
So he said, you're not letting me in, I got something for you?
Yep. I got something else for you, I think that's what he said. So then, you get in the truck and you drive away.
Where was the truck then, Paul? The truck was out where?
Right here.
Parked right here?
Yep.
It was parked?
Yes.
It was parked here, and then he just went right up?
Yep.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
And then what you're thinking, this guy's ramming.
I saw him hit the railing. I figured, okay, because he backed up. I figured, okay, he's gone. Then he went up again, and I said, oh, geez, he's really serious. And then he got through the first layer of glass. And then I started thinking of my evacuation plan. And then when the nose of the truck came through, I went into sales. and upstairs in my office and cleared people off the second floor.
Get them all out of there.
Rob Brockmeyer was down the hall yelling, "Get out of here!
Get out of here!" Yeah.
Josh was
all
in
right.
the building.
Josh was in the building.
Tell him what happened.
Josh, tell me.
I was one of the last 2 people out of the building. I went upstairs to make photocopies. When I turned the corner, I had an officer that, kind of put his gun on me and arms up. Followed instructions. They got me out of there. Meanwhile, my cohort, Nick, was downstairs still in the basement. We were able to make phone contact with him. He stayed down there throughout the entire time of the incident and was helping police by helping me get security cam footage and providing surveillance and any kind of drawings and anything that they needed. We were trying to get it to them.
Was there anything that you saw in surveillance?
We saw the vehicle crash through the front of the building, but he was off to the left a little bit too much, so we weren't able to see where he went. But, we were able to get at least the initial of him going into it and kind of the reaction afterwards. It's some pretty good, compelling video.
Let me ask, where's Tank again? Tank, come on, let me ask you both. The time that he crashed through the door to the time he got out of the truck and ran upstairs, how many seconds? Was it quick?
It must have been quick. We weren't even aware of it, kind of down in my area, because we're in the basement away from everything else. But from what everybody was saying, it was within like a couple of seconds that everybody was scattered out the building.
How long did it take him to get out of the truck and go upstairs?
It took a little while. It took about 3 or 4 tries for him to get the truck in. And then it was soon after that I saw him walking up the steps, and I went to the back part of the station. So it was soon after he crashed in. He made his way up to the second floor.
And how did you get out? Here he comes up the steps that you have to take down.
Well, there was another employee, and we went to the back entrance where there was a stairwell, and he was at the furthest end from the walkway of the building. So I saw him just peek around the corner, and once I saw him, I went straight downstairs and out the side door of the emergency exit, and that was the last of it that I was inside.
Again, you know what? Just for all of you who watch us and for all of you who have stayed with us all day, to see this today. We were attacked. Where's Bill Hooper? Bill Hooper, our general manager, was upstairs, and you locked and immediately took cover.
I was in my office and found a baseball bat that was in my office and locked the door, and then I peeked out and I saw he was in the hallway, and so I obviously closed the door again, and then police came through and cleared us out. And
tell me what that was like when they knocked on the door and you answered.
So they asked me who was in there, and I said myself, Bill Hooper, I'm the general manager, and they said, okay, open the door slowly, and as I opened it up, I got all the guns staring at me, just to make sure he wasn't in there with me.
Well, how did he get up and you got down? I was asking Tank that. How did you get by him?
So at that point, he was turned the corner or gone somewhere else. So the police were all over, and they just said, all right. And Darlene and Pat were in the office next to me, and they said, we'll get you out of here. So we had to climb right. We came down the steps and climbed over all that stuff.
You climbed all the way over the truck and everything to get out of there.
Yeah.
What about the evacuation? It worked.
It worked, and our front guard, Anita, really saved the day, because we have a policy of not letting people in if they don't have an appointment and if they can't say who they're here to see. And she wouldn't let them in, and, that really saved probably maybe a lot of lives.
A lot of lives, absolutely. Kelly and Anita did what they had to do. Anita, when we told her that she's a hero for saving lives, she broke down because she said she loves this place, she loves the people inside, and she just knew to get everybody out.
Yeah, that's great. I'm just glad everyone's safe, and it all worked out. We can fix the building. People, it's a little bit different, but we'll get it all fixed up.
When you were listening to the press conference with the chief and the county executive, was there any question that you were really hanging on to, and any information that you wanted to hear?
Just that it was over, and everyone was safe. Thanks to all the police. I'm glad none of those guys got hurt too, because that's a dangerous job walking through, and I'm sure it was a long day for them. So thank you to the Baltimore County Police Department and Commissioner Chief Johnson. So
they did the job. They did the job here today. Jeff Herman's over here. Jeff Herman.
Yes, sir.
We've known each other forever. Can you believe this, what we're looking at?
No, not. No, that was just terrifying to watch it happen as that truck came through into the lobby.
Hold on. When you see police, turn around real quick. When you see police taking pictures, then you know it's big. And they've never seen like something like this.
I mean, no, we've never seen anything like this. I mean, it was insane to see the amount of presents that came running up here right after, we made the first phone calls and we're out. It seemed like a never-ending flood of police officers coming in here.
Did you think that the guy would have gotten out, made a right turn into the newsroom?
Yeah, after I saw the front end of the truck in the lobby, that's when I thought, I don't know what's going to happen next, and we need to get out of here. Yeah. That was probably the point where I was most terrified.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. Lamont Williams, who's working the computer here. Look,
that's a mess, and I really thank God that we practiced the evacuations. When we're out here in the cold and things like that, it's like, you look at it and you're like, man, we'll probably never use this, but it went into action today, and people moved right into action, and the code red was sent, and everybody got out safely. Everybody got out safely. So we're still on the air by the technology that we bringing to you.
I have no idea. And here the police saying goodbye to our chief engineer. I mean, they got everything, all the information they needed. They got the game plan inside that station. They knew exactly where to go and where to narrow this guy down. Charlie Krausen joins us here. Charlie, you came as soon as you heard.
Yeah, we were on York Road coming in, heading south on York Road. I mean, my day was done for the most part here at ABC2. Good Morning Maryland wrapped at 7 o'clock, and we were pretty much calling it a day. And about 40 minutes after, I started getting tweets of what's going on. I text Jeff and ask what's going on. Look to the south, see helicopters above the station. Kelly sends out a tweet saying ABC2 employees stay away, and I'm like, yeah, right. We got to go down and see what's going on. Got to help where help is needed. And that's exactly what people did. People didn't listen to that call to stay away, and we showed up even when our day was done to get in here and help where help was needed.
All right, Charlie, let's get Rob. Rob, come on over. Where were you? You were screaming too.
Oh yeah, I was in my office and I heard some banging. And normally we occasionally, maybe every couple of weeks, we get somebody that's a little, anxious out there. So I ran out. I was going to call 911. I just thought it was a person. And then, as I walked up to the glass looking into the foyer, I noticed there wasn't a person there, and I looked and I saw a truck right on the concrete. And then he banged into the glass, and it took me a second because I didn't realize it was a bad situation until he backed up, rammed again, backed up, rammed again. And then when he actually bashed through the whole lobby and hit the stairs, I was like, holy cow, this guy's going to get out and hurt some people. And that's when I took off upstairs, started screaming, get out of the building, get out of the building, to everybody in the building. Got the top floor, ran down with them through the back stairs. We all headed out the back door. We all gathered in the prearranged place in the back of the parking lot, and then we realized we didn't want to be in the parking lot, so we put some folks in cars. They drove out. We got them off site. And then we went around and opened up the other gate manually, and we came out the front. When we came out the front, there were still a few of our lawn guys here. We screamed down to them, get out from in front of the building. They cleared the building. We all stood up around the corner away from this opening here. And at that point, we realized the police were just pulling up at that point. We heard some pops inside that sounded like gunfire. It probably wasn't, and now we know it probably wasn't, but that was probably just glass falling and metal dropping. And then the police came, they took charge, and they made sure they got us over to St. Pius. St. Pius was great to us. I mean, they were a true neighbor, and I just came back from Jay-Z, who's helping us, to get on the air tonight. So.
All right, we have our corporate boss, Brian Lawler, has already made his way here to Channel 2. Brian, we're ambushing you here real quick.
Jamie, how are you?
You were in Cincinnati 5 minutes ago?
No, I was in New York 2.5 hours ago. So,
2.5 hours ago?
Yeah, I was sitting on a plane, literally. I got a call right before boarding the plane. I got on the plane and was in my seat and got a couple of texts and calls. And right before they shut the door, I just stood up and said, I got something I got to do. I'm getting off this plane. And I run in the car and drove down here. So,
unbelievable. When you see this,
I realize how blessed and how lucky all of our employees are.
And Anita and Kelly Groff saved us.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
So it's really impressive what they've done.
Thank you,
we're
sir.
very grateful.
Thanks for coming in. Brian Lawler, the boss of our corporation right here. We're all huddled right now finding out what we're going to do tonight. We're going to have news tonight right here on ABC2. We're going to find out what the game plan is right now. We've got a number of stories. Bill Fink has been here since the beginning, and he's got an incredible video that when it first happened. And also, we have surveillance video that we're going to show you and try to turn that around. Brian Tankersley, who was here earlier that we were talking about, Brian was upstairs and he was shooting down below with the camera, and he was shooting at the time the man was coming through the double doors here. We'll also show you that. Cheryl Connor, who's on the other side, has an interview with Anita, and it is Anita tells you exactly what happened. She is the lady that came face to face, saw anger in this man's eyes, would not let him in, and when he barged in, she knew to tell everybody to get the heck out. Her story is also coming up later on the news. But right now, you're looking at a news meeting. This is a news meeting outside ABC2 as we're leaning against the police car. Can you believe that? You keep shooting that, Tony, and I'll talk to our meteorologist, the chief, Wyatt Everhart. What do you see?
I mean, Jamie, it's it's one of those situations that you hope never happens, but for me at least, it's always been in the back of my mind that one day, somehow, some way, we could be attacked, And you said it right today. I saw you on one of the other Baltimore stations saying we were attacked today, and I think that's, it's just the best way to put it. And it's not unprecedented. I remember in Detroit we had a gunman in one of the stations, and the other two stations had to cover that. And I think in Phoenix there was an incident years back, so it's happened, but you're never quite ready for it. But I think we did the best we could with it. It seems like it's working out for the best right now. Thank God.
Mike Masco.
I've been here for 2 years. Not to make light of the situation, but this is the second time this has happened. A deer ran in first year. Now this happens. I think that's it for me. I mean, it's getting too much. But again, you and I, we're running out of the back of the building. That I never thought in my career would ever experience something like that. You see that at other stations. You read that in Cincinnati. Was it Cincinnati, our sister station? We just went through something that I will never forget.
Unbelievable.
Jamie, of all days for you to have had a change of shift, and most of the night shift people were kind of watching this unfold on television, then coming in. You had a special report to do today, so you're here early in the morning for this.
There was my script, and I was writing it at the desk, and then all hell broke loose, and then that's it.
You ended up getting a different story.
I was just watching Don Harrison, who's worked here forever, and you were just staring. You're just staring at what you see in there.
I'm coming up here in September, my 30 years, and to look in there and see a truck that size inside your building, it's shocking. You're right, it is like a second home. Someone to drive a vehicle and take over your second home. It's pretty disturbing.
When you heard about it, you were down in Annapolis?
I was. I'm doing a homicide story in Annapolis, and it's surreal. I'm listening to reports on the radio like we all do, and you hear the names of ABC2 News, York Road, Channel 2 TV station. It was you couldn't comprehend it. It was kind of unreal.
And the big question still remains: did he pick us out? Or was this at random? What was it?
We've been around this long enough. There's sometimes you can't logic crazy. And when some people are having some mental difficulties, you can't apply logic to it. So that's why there is no answer. It may not be.
Okay, let's go down the walk. Thank you, Disco. And again, more police coming out. Unbelievable. As we continue to shoot here. This is Dave over here. Dave, you were in the building at the time, like everybody.
Yeah, I was there. I actually started walking outside, and, we saw the guy standing there trying to get in the door, shaking the door. And Anita and Bruce Henn, Bruce was guarding the door. Anita was, on the phone with 911 and, just getting everybody out. So we went out the back. And
did you see, everybody says, Anita says she saw anger in the guy's eyes.
Well, I didn't see that because he had sunglasses on. I got to be honest with you. The dude he seemed like the most relaxed guy I've ever seen standing there trying to get into somewhere that wouldn't let him in. You know, he would stand there and he'd be relaxed and he would just be standing there, and then all of a sudden he would just start screaming and let me in and, you know, shaking on the door. So
we got out. Cheryl Condor right over here. Cheryl had a great interview with Anita, and everybody's talking about Anita here.
Yeah, and we're trying to get it back so we can actually get that on. But we called Anita coming out of the building. Her son was here naturally wanting to make sure she was okay. Anita's office space to the right. This truck is right in front of her desk. Anita was the first person to see him, from what I understand. There were other people in the lobby as well, but she was the one who heard him ranting and raving, as Chief Johnson said, and then called 911. She made that 911 call. He then went to the truck and decided to put it right there in our lobby. So she yelled, she got your attention. I wasn't in the building at the time, but certainly many people were, and she was, you know, one of the first people. And I mean, you were there as we were talking to her. She choked up because she really should be commended.
What do you have here on what's on the laptop?
We are trying to get up Anita right here. I have it all edited. We were just trying the process of TV without our TV.
Let's do it let's see if we can do it old-fashioned way and just put it up. Maybe can you hear this if we put it up? You saved a lot of people's lives today. You know that. You saved our lives.
Y'all got me done right here.
This is Anita. This is our security guard.
And he was yelling that he was God.
So then he went back to his truck.
Yeah.
You couldn't believe it.
I didn't think I thought he was leaving. You didn't think he was going to drive the truck up to the door. We thought he was leaving.
And then once he hit the door once?
He didn't hit the door. He came up to drive the walkway, the steps. He couldn't get up to the top steps, so he backed up and he rammed. He moved over and he rammed into the right beam of the wall. Then he backed up again and he came through the first set of windows. And he backed up again and he came into the lobby.
And then you saw him get out right away? Or
no, I didn't see anything. I ran. I yelled for everybody to get out and I ran. So.
You saved a lot of people's lives today. You know that. You saved our lives.
Y'all got me done right here. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Anita, I know you're watching. We'll see you back here at work tomorrow morning, bright and early. And again, thank you, Cheryl. And again, we've got the news meeting going on. This is about the time that we're getting set to do our 5 o'clock news and our brand new In Focus at 6 o'clock. And right now, this is our news gathering. We're finding out how we're going to cover this story here tonight. And we're figuring out what the game plan is, and we'll go in. So we're showing everybody how we're having our news meeting here. What is the plan?
Well, that's what we're figuring out. We're figuring out what the next steps are. We know that somebody will be coming in here to help shore up the building and make sure we're okay to go in. That's why we're all standing here. We don't know yet if we can go in. So once we figure out that, we've got amazing video that we have yet to get on the air that we're working on because of all the issues on the inside, and a lot of things you won't see because they were done inside, you know, when the truck came through. So we talked to our security guard who alerted everybody. Excuse me. So we'll have that too.
What's that sign say up there? Is there some
Yeah, you can't read it.
You can't read it? Okay. Yeah. All right, forget it. Don't do it. All right. Christian Schaefer.
How you doing, Jamie? Made it through, right?
Wow. What do you see?
I started seeing this thing blow up on social media. I work nights, so I wasn't even here when this was going on. But all of a sudden, you start to put 2 and 2 together, and people are talking about a truck into WMER, and you're like, wait, I work at WMER, you know? And it just comes through like slow motion, and then it just blows up on. I don't know if you've had time to look at the Twitterverse today, but it has really gone. I mean, I've had requests. If I tweet out a photo of something, I get a request from like a London newspaper asking if they can retweet this photo that has been put up on Twitter. Some of our photographers you were talking about got these amazing shots of the truck ramming the building, video of them, and I mean, once you put that out on on Twitter on a Vine, it just blows up, and it's gotten trends in Baltimore today on Twitter. WMAR. I think you were trending at one point. I was trending at one point. It's just unbelievable how this is picked up, not just here in Baltimore locally, but all over the country, all over the world. People have been saying what's going on right here at our little TV station.
I keep asking everybody, what was the one answer that you got today from the press conference that you were hanging on?
Well, I think it was just a confirmation of what we probably knew already but couldn't really say publicly, is that we were dealing with a mentally ill suspect. I think when we heard what was going on today and what had happened, and that he barricaded himself in, maybe some ranting that people had heard about, we just, you kind of assume that we're dealing with a mentally ill suspect. The chief confirmed that. One of the first things he said was that the suspect was believed to be mentally ill, and that's something that tonight we're dealing with all kinds of issues. We've got a building to fix, we've got video to get on TV and issues like that, but there's a larger issue here at play, and that is that we've got not just this one gentleman today, but there's a lot of people out there who've got a lot of problems, and some of them are in our communities, and not just police. Police are the ones who wind up dealing with the problem, but there's a lot of other layers to it that went into this before this happened today.
Okay, I think we're going to play some of the sound that we have from police. And again, this is all raw. Again, if you're just joining us here, we've been off the air most of the day because our building was invaded here. And what we're doing is we're picking up Phoenix, our sister station out in Phoenix. They are using our signal to beam it back to you. How that works, I have no idea, but it's working. Yeah. So let's listen to some police sound right now that we have back here that we can play for you about what happened here today.
We had a mentally ill suspect who had commandeered a TV station and was watching TV news while the police were assessing the situations. Just reminds us once again, these tactical officers were going room to room, not knowing what danger they were facing. And the fact that they are willing to risk their lives to protect others is just an admirable human being. And we're very grateful for their efforts.
The individual was ranting and raving incoherent statements. It was clear from the very beginning we were dealing with a mentally or emotionally disturbed subject. He also had in his possession, and or we believe in his control, a bag or satchel of some kind, along with sheaths of machetes that were left inside the structure. We believe at this point in time that they belong to the workers that possessed the van. This 29-year-old black male, about 5'10", was watching different channels, watching you report this story as this incident unfolded.
We're back here on ABC2 News and ABC2News.com. I'm joined with Katrina Bush. Bye, Katrina Bush. I mean, I can't. Where do we start?
All I was thinking is this is just unreal. When I got a call from one of our managers here is telling me, I'm coming in later in the night, and he's saying, don't come in until we tell you. I will tell you when it's okay to come into work. I'm thinking, what is going on? And when I got the more information I got, my heart is just pounding, and I'm at home, and I'm just thinking about everyone who was here, just thinking, I cannot believe this is happening. And now to see this door where we walk in every day and what's happened here, it's just, I'm still trying to wrap my head around it.
I know, we keep seeing that truck is buried inside. Bruce Henn, who runs the maintenance better than anybody else, is still inside that building, and I hope we get a word with him. I'm going to wiggle my way back here. Bill Fink was here from the start. Bill, what'd you see when you were the first camera here?
Well, I was originally across the street from the station, and I saw the truck as it was pulling up to the front. I knew something was wrong then, and when I heard the impact to the front of the building, I came rushing over from across the street. And as I came into the building, everything was smashed. The driver of the truck was already gone. Fortunately, the security guard was already gone. But police were starting to arrive at the scene. They immediately went up to the second floor to try and see if they could find out where this guy had gotten to, and it was pretty scary. It was pretty amazing that nobody got injured in all of this, and I don't know.
In all our years, You didn't think that truck was going to make it through.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. And he certainly tried several times to get through. I don't know what his intention was through all of this, but I think he wanted to go as deep into that building as he possibly could and do as much damage as he possibly could.
He did a pretty good job of it. This is where the car was. The car was, the truck was parked right here. And Chief Engineer Paul Wilkinson came out and said when he tried to get through by using his hands to get in through the door, he kind of yelled at Paul, said, well, if this doesn't work, I got something else for you. That's when he hopped in this truck and he just rammed the place, rammed right in. You keep shooting ahead there, Tony. I'll go back here. We'll talk to Fred Slade and Jeff Hager, who are also out here covering this story. Freddie, what do you see?
Well, I see where I work. I guess when I got up this morning, I never expected this, but I'm kind of speechless, man. I don't know.
And Jeff Hager, you've been working the scene, you've been working the perimeter. What have people been telling you?
I think, everybody's just amazed. Just looking at that big dump truck through there. I mean, who would drive that through without knowing who might be behind those glass doors, who they might run over in the process? I mean, just the idea that somebody would do something like that. I realize that they're saying that he was emotionally or mentally unstable, but can you imagine what it would be like to put your foot on the gas and not care who's in front of you and who's behind the glass and go right into the lobby? I think Anita did a heck of a job, our security guard. I mean, the fact, she and Bruce Henn, the fact that we had two employees that were kind of the first wave that had to do whatever they had to do, coming face to face with the guy. I think they're the ones that were the heroes in all this.
So he stole the truck from the Beltway at York Road, drove south, and picked us out.
Yeah.
And then went up to the door first, and then came back with the truck.
Pretty amazing no one was hurt in this. Pretty amazing.
All right, let's walk over again. Thank you, guys. All right. Again, we're lined up with police cars. They're all here. And here's Nick coming up here. This is the man that was in the building the whole time. Welcome to Channel 2, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
All right, tell me, what were you doing?
I was working and listening to music, and I told Josh, I was like, hey, there's a lockdown, I think. And Josh was like, oh, I'm going to make copies. He made copies upstairs, and he never came back. And then Tom, the finance guy, who's not working here today, he's working remote from home, called me and was like, why are you in the office still? I was like, why wouldn't I be? I'm working. And he told me I should probably lock my door and turn off the lights, and then told me that there was a truck driven through the front lobby of the building. So
you had no idea the truck was
idea. And then I just stayed there the whole time and got in touch with Sal, and Sal got me on the phone with the officers, so I stayed on the phone with the officers for about 3.5 hours.
3.5 hours, so what are you telling them?
One of the guys was a Marine, so we were just talking about Marine Corps stuff and kind of walking them through the building, letting them know the lay of the land and what I could see from the cameras. And
Nick, you don't know what's going on 2 stories above you.
No, I don't. And I just started 2 weeks ago.
Unbelievable. 2 weeks ago. Can you believe that? Unbelievable. So you're down in the basement. Then how'd you know to get all clear?
The SWAT team came and got me. I was on the phone with them the entire time, so they came and extracted me out. And I waited for them to come in and let me know that was them. And once they notified me that was them outside the door, I opened the door and walked out with them.
What was this like for you today?
It was interesting. It was interesting, to say the least. It was definitely a eye-opening experience, but I'm not deterred. I still love working here, and I'll be here tomorrow.
There you go, man. There you go, Nick. I think a lot of people want to hug you right now. Nick, in the building at the time the man crashed into the lobby, in the building, in the basement, helping out Baltimore County Police and the SWAT team members. And he was the one that was supplying them information, and he stayed on the phone for 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours. That's crazy. Yeah, you think so?
Him and Anita should share. Him and Anita will share that.
That's going to be called the Anita Award now.
I think so. That's incredible. It's incredible. I mean, it's just, and looking at it right now, like I said, this is our building. It's a crime scene now. That's just, it really sinks in, and you think about it. It's a crime scene, and you've got the stuff that we always see out on stories, where they're photographers, the guys are measuring things. To see something like that, it's absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible.
It's a crime scene. How about that? Our workplace is a crime scene.
And how loud was that? Looking at that truck, how did it get in the building? I mean, it had to be, the whole building had to echo.
It was fun. I mean, it was boom, boom. I mean, it's like, what the
Get
heck?
a lot of force behind. A lot of force behind that. You're talking about how heavy that truck was. It looks like there's mulch or something in the back of it. So there's a lot of weight and a lot of power just coming right through there. I mean, he got into the building and looked like he tried to make a left turn to go down the hall to where our sales department is. Just unbelievable.
Ay, 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 ay. All right.
Who would have known that this is how Tuesday would have started?
A Tuesday. Preakness week. And we got somebody barging in here. Again, earlier we showed you the ambulance taking the man to get some help. The Baltimore County Police say he's having some mental problems.
And they said they could tell from talking to him that he wasn't necessarily all right. They actually had to use a dog as well to try and help to get him out of the building because they tried negotiating with him for several hours and had a very, very difficult time getting him to come out of the building.
And here's the thing that we go through, our Rolodex in the head. Was this man here before? No. Were there emails made? No. Were there phone calls? No.
Why did he come here?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. I mean, that's a big turn down there.
Yes. And like I said, he was determined to get in the building. Anita was there, kept him out. But we still don't know. We may not know why he wanted to get in the building. He just kept saying that he was God, and demanding, shaking, trying to get in the door. And she held him at bay.
All right, let's take a look again. Man, this awning's all gone. Is the door over there on the left, is that all smashed in? Can you see?
Looks like it's damaged a little bit, but not totally off the hinges, but it looks like it's close. And the big question now is when we'll be able to get back in the building. And using all this massive technology to be able to be on the air and on the web to provide you this information, because we can't even get in, because again, as you said, our building is now a crime scene.
I don't know. We're going to try to get somebody in there to throw a switch so we can get back on the air and broadcast on a normal basis. But again, look, the lights on the left side of the sales office, they're still on. And everybody just left. Everything is.
And everybody, you said, we started off leaving the newsroom into Kelly Groff's office, and then you made a mad dash to the parking lot, just trying to get out and get away. Because at that point, the truck was already in the building.
The truck was in the building. To your right is our employee parking lot, and that is gated. And what happened today, since Anita was outside, there was nobody to open up the back gate.
So how'd you guys get out?
So Paul and a couple other guys, they did something, they rigged something, and they pulled that gate like Noah's Ark, man. They opened it up.
Mike Masco was there as well.
That was scary. Not being, because we were in the back of the lot at that point, Kelly, and I don't know if you heard the story. As we're in the back of the lot, the guy's coming in the front. Who's not to say he could have backed that truck out and came around? So now we're sitting here in a caged environment, not knowing what to do. Then we're trying to get out of the gate. The gate's locked because it's all automatic. So Paul Wilkinson, our chief engineer, right, Paul, and he opened the gate and got us out. I mean, we were in a cage for 5 minutes, not knowing what's going to happen next.
Well, even though you train and you prepare for stuff like this, you never anticipate it happening. So you could really only do so much. Like I said, when you sent me the first text message, stay away from the station. A man has rammed his truck into the lobby. Don't come into work. I was like, what are you doing? This isn't me. No. Because it doesn't happen here. It always happens someplace else.
Well, you're just worried about what he was going to do after. Did he have weapons on him? Was he going to get out and make a right turn into the newsroom? You don't know.
And initially we thought that he was armed, but now we learn after the fact that he maybe only had like machetes or lawnscaping materials from the truck that he stole near 695.
What's his intentions? I guess we're kind of wondering what was his intentions. What would make somebody do this at our station?
Well, we'll find that out, hopefully. And again, the police are inside. Baltimore County Police are inside taking all the photos here for their evidence. And again, there's that dump truck just standing inside. It's almost like the Baltimore Museum of Industry when you go in there and you see old relics. It's an old truck parked in the lobby here. Let me go over to Rodney Battenfeld. Where were you, Rodney? Were you coming in or you were up there?
I was in my house talking to my mother-in-law. She said, turn on your TV station. Looks like something happened. And when I turned it on, they were hovering over the school. So I said, it looks like something at the school. And then she hung up, and it was like, whoa, that's our place. So...
Man. So you're coming in to work tonight, or?
I'll get us back on the air if we can.
All right, it's the man. He knows the button. How?
Money.
Go upstairs and throw that button on.
Just waiting for the command from the big guy.
Who was up there? Do you know who was up there at the time?
Glenda.
Glenda. She made it out like we saw her. A bunch of people got in a car and just scooted across the Panera. They hung out there for the majority of the time. I wish we could take it closer here, but the Baltimore County Police are kind of holding us back here. But again, you can see a light now on in the corner. Can you make that out? And you can see all the pictures hanging on the wall of the people that work here. I don't see any damage there. I don't see any pictures off the wall. I'm trying to see who else is in that office there. Oh, Bruce Henn. There's Bruce Henn.
He's talking about beyond the wall?
Yeah, I was trying to see who was in the lobby.
Brian Lawler's in the lobby, isn't he?
Yeah.
Our big corporate guy, he's in the lobby.
And again, here's Bill Hooper, our general manager, coming out.
So when do they think we're going to be able to get back in there? 7 o'clock?
I don't know. Here's Brian Lawler, the corporate boss, coming out again. We're at the mercy of the Baltimore County Police now. They have to get what they need in there to build this case. And then it looks like the truck's angled to the left now, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, didn't he turn to the left? Because what we saw, what you and I saw, we saw like the last 3 bangs, right? And then he came in and the glass went everywhere. And then that's when we were told to get out of there, right? But I guess other people were telling me that he rammed the staircase too, and then tried to make a left and then jumped out and went upstairs. Did you see the note that he put up out of Mike Marion's office too?
No,
it's something we should probably put on TV, but it's just wait. So, which is a little unnerving, right? I mean, just wait for what? I don't know what,
Okay. All right, we got some open windows here. These are, it was a hot day today, one of the hottest that we've had so far this year. And so the windows were popped open here.
You're not going to let us in until 7, I think?
Again, they're talking it out here. That's our news director, our corporate boss, Brian Lawler, and general manager Bill Hooper, huddled up here on the ramp. And again, it's unbelievable. He just rammed right on through. There's Paul Wilkinson right inside. He's the one who we talked to earlier, our chief engineer. He's in the white shirt there on the phone. And trying to make sure that this building is safe and sound. Again, they're going to have to bring in some civil engineers to make sure that the structure is safe to go inside, because we don't want anything more to collapse on us.
Sir.
Yay.
We're doing some serious rock.
All right, now, what's going on?
I saw you on the air.
All right, man.
That was incredible.
In all your years, anything like this?
Never seen anything like this.
On a television station?
Never.
What are you going to tell the nation tonight?
Well, the good thing about it is that no one got hurt.
Yeah.
Especially for our ABC News family.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming up. What are you going to tell the nation about us tonight?
Well, I think we're trying to get it on the air on World News with Diane Sawyer shortly, so that'll be the first place.
All right. Thanks for coming up. We'll be watching them on ABC News tonight, we hope, at 6:30.
We'll get it on. We have the technology.
We have it on. Again, Baltimore County Police continue to watch guard. You can see the other part of the door just leaning on its side here against the rail. Look at all the glass that's below, just the glass, and then the twisted metal that's right here on the last step before you got through here. And then you can see just to the right, you can see that window is smashed in, and that's where our security guard, Anita, was sitting, right there. I mean, it's right there, and she sits in like a little conclave, and she'll pop up when somebody comes up to the door, and if she doesn't know you, you're not getting in. And today she didn't let that guy in. I'm trying to see, it's hard to make out what it was like before. Now you just see all the damage inside. So again, we're creeping up. This is a building that was built 1961, close to Rogers Forge, close to the city line, close. We were on Redwood downtown, and they built this out here. A lot of people still think the Channel 2's on the hill, down there on TV Hill. No, we've been out here in Towson forever and ever. Manny Locke, look at this.
It's, I don't know what to say. The main thing is to make sure that my colleagues and friends weren't hurt, which I'm glad. I wasn't in the building at the time. I was on an assignment with Jeff Hager. We got the text from our news director, Kelly Groff, and told everybody to stay away from the building. A truck had went into the building. And the first thing we did as journalists, you worry about your colleagues and friends. And then the second thing we did was come up here to cover the story. So it's kind of funny that here I am covering a story that normally we would cover on any other day, but it's funny when you're covering a story in your home station. The main thing is everyone is safe, the building can be rebuilt, and that's all I'm really worried about. All of my colleagues and friends are well.
Who's the first person you called?
The first person I called, unbelievable or not, was my daughter called me because she texted me and wanted to do FaceTime because we have iPhones. And I told Melissa, Daddy's fine, everybody's fine, everything is okay. And then hopefully she relayed that message on to my other family members.
Man, I thought the truck went straight, but it looks like it's angled up there, isn't it?
It does look like it's angled, and Miss Nita, who is our security guard, she did the right thing by not letting that individual into the building. She followed protocol, and she basically saved a lot of people's lives. Just imagine if they would have got in the building, there's no telling what damage he could have done. So Miss Nita, our security guard, did an admirable job.
You know, when Kelly Swoop here, you know, when something happens in our city and they put the crime tape up, we feel it. And when something happens at a gynecologist's office in Glen Burnie, we felt that last night with the body found inside. And now to see this, I mean, this is workplace violence, and now we can all relate.
And still so many unanswered questions. You know, why? Think of the people that he could have hurt if he was armed with a weapon. You know, and like seeing some of the original things on Twitter and reading and trying to follow you guys because I was at home, it was frightening. Worried about your colleagues, worried about the person being held up inside the building for several hours, worried about the folks from Baltimore County responding, trying to get him out safely. But this guy could have really done some damage more than structural. And what we're looking at right now, he could have really hurt some people.
Absolutely could have hurt some people. And again, we were talking about it. It looked like he was angling there, and he couldn't go to the left of the sales office, and he ventured upstairs.
And basically, as you said, stole the truck that was on the side of a road from a landscaping company, took it, and came right here. We talked about before all of the other businesses that he passed to come here to our station. So you got to wonder, why here? Why ABC2?
Right. Why? Let's go over here. Darlene, Human Resources. Darlene Dorman was upstairs. Darlene, listen, we talked to Bill about it. How'd you get out?
I was escorted out by the police. My office faces the front of the building. It's on the second floor, and we were told to stay inside of my office until they came to get us, and then they rushed us out as soon as they were safe to do so.
Did you feel it?
I did, because I heard him yelling, but once in a while we do get someone come to the station, and that happens. But this time I did get up and look out the window, and I saw him actually walk out, and I saw him get in his truck, and I thought he was leaving, and actually got in his truck, and he ran into the building.
Everybody made it out. That's the big thing. Everybody made it out. Except Nick. Nick was stuck in there for 3.5 hours on the phone the whole time with Baltimore County Police. And again, listen, if Paul here again, I want you to go through that thing again with this guy who said,
I gotta put these in.
Yeah. What the guy said to you, if this doesn't work, I got something for you?
Well, he said, since you're not going to let me in, I got something else for you. That's what he said. So he got in his truck, and I went, oh, good, he's leaving. And then he took a right-hand turn and came up the steps.
Now, what happened? Did he jump out the left side here, the driver's side like he was, and then ran up the steps?
No, he was on the left side of the stairs, and he got snagged on that curled railing at first. So he backed up and then came up again, and then he kept getting hung up on the steps. So he backed down and came up through the middle. But it's an F550. There's a lot of torque in that truck. So he just kept hitting it until he got through. And he hit the steps and skidded sideways, so that's why he's crosswise in the lobby.
Yeah, this is crazy. Now, who's still in the building?
Forensics and detectives and fire marshal. And a building inspector is coming to take a look at the front to see if it's compromised.
Jim, you were just getting back from a shoot. Tell us what happened when you were in the newsroom. What'd you hear?
I was just, I have my copy right here. This is the story I was writing. I was at the at my desk, and all of a sudden, kaboom, kaboom. And I looked to my right, and here comes glass breaking, and here comes a truck coming right through. Unbelievable. So we saw the truck come through, and that's what because then you thought, what happens after that? Okay, now he's in the building. Now what? So that we had to get out of here. How to get out of here? Yeah, we don't know. That's right. Yeah, you're right.
You guys went to Kelly's office, then took out the back parking lot.
Yeah, there were a lot of people went in Kelly's office and closed the door, and then they knew we better get out of the building. And again, we're having a lot of discussions. Everybody's huddled up. Everybody's wondering what can come next. There are more police cars coming down York Road, which is now open. St. Pius has gotten all the kids. And again, I have to give it to our employees who went next door to St. Pius and warned them to get on lockdown right away, to lock the school and don't let any of the kids out. So again, and they're starting to have their carnival coming up this weekend. So we shut them down, and they were so nice to let us inside for some using the restrooms and giving us some water that they had left over from another bash at the church.
We were on lockdown for several hours,
yes,
and we had a situation early this week over at Ridge Ruxton, and also was it Towson Elementary, one of the elementary schools, just yesterday.
Right.
So a lot of folks over here, concerned about safety. They had to get kids out of the school through an alley, getting them out safely because the parents hear about something happening so close to their kid's school, they're coming up here right away trying to get them out.
Okay, and we're doing this raw right here on ABC2. And again, we don't have. Here's Bruce Hand. Come here, Bruce. Yeah, come on. What kind of a day?
One of a kind. All day. Rough. An exceptional day.
Where were you at the time?
I was at the main lobby. So I saw it from the beginning.
So you saw the guy pulling on the doors.
He was yanking on the doors as hard as he could. He couldn't get them open. He'd back up a little bit, look at it some more, grab him a second time, and pull on them as hard as he could. He almost got the double glass doors open.
With his bare hands?
Yes. Oh, he was enraged.
Anita said she saw anger.
Oh, it was his vessels and his neck were just popping with the anger he had and the screaming that he was doing.
And what was he screaming, Bruce?
Just saying, I want in, I'm God. And that's about all I can remember. I was a little shaken at the time, trying to figure out what we're going to do if he got in.
So then he left, and you thought he's gone.
He walked down the ramp. I thought, well, he's given up. And then he gets into this truck, which is a rental truck, a landscaping truck that he just stole down near the Beltway, and he drove it up here. He obviously knew exactly where he needed to be. He parked it right over here. He got in it, turned the truck around, and drove it right straight up these steps on the left side here, but he couldn't get over all the steps, smoking with the tires, so he backed down. Then he started up the middle. He couldn't jump the steps, but he kept backing and jumping another one, backing and jumping another one, and finally just burst through the first glass vestibule and then drove the doors and drove the truck right into the lobby until he hit the other wall.
And how close were you?
About from here. Well, let's say 10, 15 feet. I was watching it all happen.
And then he jumped out and he ran right upstairs, or did he?
He jumped, he got out, and I didn't see him for a little bit because he was on the other side of the truck. And then he somehow got a hold of a fire extinguisher, which I think was in sales. Then he came back and slid over top of the wrecked hood, spraying the fire extinguisher around, and then he disappeared up the steps. And that was where the next events happened.
And then you knew to get out.
Well, no, I went downstairs looking to see if I could find him anywhere, and I went into the sales area and looking for him.
You were looking for him?
Well, quietly looking for him. I just wanted to see where he was so I could let the authorities know.
So you didn't know if this guy was armed or whatever. You were making.
Well, when I saw him, he wasn't armed. All he had was a fire extinguisher and his white shirt and blue jeans. If that's what it was, I'm not even sure.
You've worked here for
years.
Nothing close to this.
Well, we had a deers run into the glass door. That was as hard as it got.
What do you think about Anita's actions?
She did exactly what she was supposed to do. She saved us. If he'd gotten in, it could have been brutal.
Bruce Henn, everybody. Bruce Henn. He went looking for the man, thinking that he wasn't armed. He went looking to make sure that he could tell authorities when the police got here where this man was. And again, I think now we have Baltimore County Fire. They're going to take a look at the building on whether we can get in or not. And again, that's Kelly Groft on your left, Bruce Henn right in the middle with the purple, Bill Hooper to the right, and our chief from Scripps, the corporate office, Brian Lawler. They're all discussing what's going to happen to us. tonight.
Through the back doors.
Now we can go in through the back doors. You want to do it? Let's go. Come on.
Yeah, go ahead.
You want to do it? All right.
We need Bruce to open the back door.
All right, now we're going to come back here. And there's still more employees over here. We're going to be able to get in. We're going to come back through the back door here. Right now, we'd be on the air under her show. This is Siobhan. She produces our 5 o'clock show. When it happened, you hightailed it.
Yeah, we were told Kelly Groft was in the lobby, and we heard a bang, so we went to check it out and see what was going on. And all of a sudden, she doesn't yell. She does not yell. She started just scream. She's like, "Get out of the building!" So we all just started running and grabbed like whatever we could, cell phones, so we could let our families know what was going on, and just ran out. Luckily, people grabbed keys, so we got some cars out and opened the gates, and everyone got out.
And you felt it. You felt it, didn't you?
Yeah, it was big boom. And we thought someone just dropped something in the studio. Not the case.
Here's Larry Carney. Larry Carney was in his office, and you heard it. What did it feel like?
We just heard one boom, and it sounded like somebody had dropped equipment or something to that nature. It wasn't overly loud, but I think that was the first of the ramming that I had heard. And I just heard the screaming, and I just turned and ran.
Turn and ran.
Just turned and ran.
Were you scared about what the guy had?
Absolutely. You have no idea in that situation. If someone is crazy enough to drive a truck through the lobby, they're crazy to do a lot of things.
Okay, Bruce Hedden said he heard him say, he's God, let me in. And then Paul Wilkinson told us that the guy said, well, if you're not letting me in, I got something else for you.
That sounds like crazy to me.
Larry, he took a truck and he rammed it through ironclad windows and doors.
Several times in order to get through.
Unbelievable. All right. I think they're going to let us inside here. This is where the gate is open up here, so we can walk up here. And again, the technology we're using our Phoenix sister station to take our signal from them to put it on our air and online so we can tell you what's going on here at ABC2. They've got to open the gate, so as soon as they open the gate, this is where we were huddled outside as soon as it happened. We came out to our parking lot here. This is the employee parking lot, and this is where everybody was. Some people got in cars. They went down the back gate lot over there to get out, and for the rest of us, we just stayed here, and then we walked we walked behind St. Pius School, which is right here. And again, we're just leaving cars here. And this is the gate that they physically had to manually open up here today. And look, we pulled this off. There's the lock. So we just pulled that off so that we can get out. So, and I think, let's see if we can open this gate up now. I don't know. It still could be locked. Yeah. All right, let's go in. So this is the parking lot right now. And again, this is where we literally went into the back of the parking lot to hang out there. And again, we're all fenced in, so the only way out was through here. So I think we better just wait here until we can find out if we can get inside. These are all the employee cars that have been parked here. And I can see some of the employees now from Channel 2 coming back through here. And I think we can go in and get stuff and bring it out, it sounds like. So we'll find out. But again, they're coming up. We'll open up this gate because there's going to be a large crowd coming. Again, we're live on the air and online. And tonight ought to be a heck of a newscast because we've got all this video. We've got a great interview with Anita, who saved our lives. We've got interviews with Kelly Groft, who our news director, and she told us to get out. You'll hear from Nick, who was in the basement for 3.5 hours on the phone with Baltimore County Police, telling them everything that he knew. We're going to talk about the evacuation. And some of the video you'll see from the surveillance camera and also from Brian Tankersley, our photographer, who was upstairs, grabbed a camera and then immediately began shooting downstairs, seeing the truck come into our lobby here. Again, this is where everybody came out.
Be careful of the water.
There's a water issue?
Yeah, we have a water leak.
There's a water leak. Great. All right. This is the way in, and this was the only way out today for all the employees. So again, we don't know what we're going to find. Oh, look at all the water here. All right, this is this was our escape route here today. And it is just a couple inches deep. Look back there. This is what we call our scene dock. This is where we put all the stuff that we have for various TV shows. And again, you can feel some of the drips coming down from the ceiling. To your left, you'll see all the archive tapes, every story we've done. What's that, from 2001? They're all loaded on here. These are our editing suites. And it's dead silence in here. These are our editing suites. Editors were in every one of these bays here today, and they were editing when they were told to get out.
Here's my coffee and lunch.
And there, look, here, we'll go right in here. The man who's shooting this right now is Tony Marsala. This is his coffee. What'd you get? What was this?
Peanut butter and jelly and some strawberries.
Peanut butter and jelly and some strawberries. Told to vanish. And again, another editing suite. This is where we take all of our satellite feeds. And this is the newsroom. This is the newsroom that is so quiet here today. Nobody up on the desk. Nobody at their desk. It has been shut down since midday today. Let me show you how close we were. Right up here, this is the desk. This is the brains of the operation here. All the phone calls that you make. The way you get in touch with us, it's pretty much set like that. And then this was my desk right here. And you can see my Dunkin' Donuts coffee was right there. I'd just gotten back from Sagamore Farms doing a story. And then here we are. And this is, gee. Take a look. That's how close we were. This is where Anita sits. This is where Anita was. That thing moved. That thing's all moved out off the wall. And she was sitting there. Her water bottle is still there. And you can see up here, these are the surveillance cameras, so we'll check on those. But you see the little screen up there. So she saw it. She saw it all going down. And the truck is angled to the left. And across the hall, directly across the hall is where the sales staff is. And this is where he ran, right up the steps. And upstairs, those were the general offices. Look at all the glass on the floor. There's a overturned chair there. Look at all the metal just laying on the floor. I thought this desk was all secured to the wall, but man, it is forced out. I don't even know how she got out. Did she climb over? Did she have to climb over?
She got out, but she got out before he came through. She was in the lobby with people.
Okay, so there's a gap right here. If this was pushed out, there's a little gap right here, so she can get out that way. So then when she got out, she just made it out, or she would have been trapped right there. But look at that truck. Man. And again, when he ran up the steps, people were running down the steps. Well, he went upstairs into an office so that then they knew to get out. But all the glass on the floor, the windows shattered. There's the front is pretty well gone. So if he gets out of that truck and makes a right turn, he enters right into our newsroom. But again, it's all locked up. So again, but you heard that the man had brute strength, and he was about ready to pull off the doors in the front. And he could have done the same here at the newsroom. But to see this and all the damage, it's pretty extensive. So he must have hit the steps. You think he must have hit the steps there to hit hit the railing.
Yes, he did. A lot of damage, as you mentioned. Tore up the steps, and Miss Nita's cubicle, where she normally is the security guard for us, watching all the cameras, is in disarray. Thank goodness she wasn't there. This looks very terrible, but again, the main thing is our colleagues and friends are safe. The building can be rebuilt. And unfortunately, as we cover the news on a daily basis, we are now the news. But looks devastating, just unbelievable. And I guess the real trick would be how did they get the truck out of the building without tearing up more of the facade?
Did you even think of that?
I don't think anyone thought of that, but how do you get it out of the building?
Back that up.
Yeah. I mean, you have to use a tow truck, we would assume. And that's a big truck, an F-350. That's a big size truck.
All right, let's. So this is the newsroom in here, and this is how close we were. We were just 20 feet away, 20 feet away from the guy.
And my desk right here.
This is the control room in here. I just want to show you because you don't see a control room at a television station empty. There is nobody in here. There's nobody in here, and there's nothing. Look at this, dark screens, just dark screens. Nothing. I mean, it is, we've never seen anything like this before. It's 25 minutes after 6, and our workday kind of stopped at noon today. But usually at this time, this place is just humming with people, busy, like a major city, and today, nobody's in any of the chairs here today. So again, we're still trying to figure out what time we can be allowed to get back in, and it looks like we're going to throw the switch here.
Fine.
Christian,
Fine.
how close? How close are we?
Once you get fired up.
All right. All right. Here we are in the control room, and we're trying to sign back on here. Trying to get it up and running again. Christian Keller, who is our director, Margie, is running the buttons down in front. And we're waiting to get back up on the air here. Are we going to go right to World News with Diane?
I think we're staying local.
We're going to stay local here? So again, I mean, how do you sign us back on, Christian?
She just turns on the machines, and they're going to try to put up a live shot, and then we're just going to put it on air that you guys talk.
Okay, so everybody who was evacuated here earlier and told to get out, and now we're trying to get it here. Let's listen to this, because you don't get to see this at all anytime. We're going to just listen into you and give the orders.
It might be a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, how about 4.5 hours? How's that? We've waited that long. How about Nick? Nick in the basement. 3.5 hours. He was on the phone. He started with us 2 weeks ago. He's in the basement, and he's given Baltimore County Police everything he's got. Didn't panic at all. Had great conversations. And we could not tell that there was a man still left in here because the other man was upstairs on the 3rd floor watching coverage. All right, listen, here we go. And again, all this is all the computer, and how we got on the air in the first place is just, it's magical, because we really relied on our Phoenix sister station. We sent them the signal here, and they in turn turned it back and bounced it back here to Baltimore so that everybody could see what we were going through here today. Margie down in front, pushing the buttons, making sure everything is in operation. We've had a water leak, major water leak, that has flooded out the portion of the building. And we should be up and running here. This is a national story. This just isn't a local story. This is made national news. All the networks were here today broadcasting since it happened. You don't hear about a truck ramming into a television station anywhere, and like it happened today. And for this man to be inside for several hours.
Just a couple of lower thirds up at the top. Once we get it fired up.
Again, when you have computers at home and you have to shut them down, you shut them down to make them awake again. And it's been, well, we're going on about 6.5 hours now of the. But to walk away, we've never walked away from our job, but we had to today. We walk away. We didn't even walk away on 9/11. We were still inside this building working. But today, we walked away. Everybody just got up out of their chairs and left. We're back here into the newsroom. Most of the employees are coming in, grabbing what they can to make sure they have what they need for tonight. And then they're coming out here and they're taking pictures because this is just an unbelievable sight. I mean, everybody's stepping on glass. You can see outside. Here with ABC, I think he just did a live shot for Diane Sawyer. Timmy Rutherford, longtime photographer here, has been here how many? 34. 34 years. What do you see when you see this truck parked in our lobby?
It's pretty crazy. Honest to God, look at it. Never seen anything like it. We've had deer crashing through the windows. We've never had a truck. I'm glad no one's hurt. That's the main thing.
Look at the steps. You didn't even see the steps are kind of knocked out. Yeah, they're like grandma's teeth. I mean, they are like sideways and all the way up. The carpeting's coming off, and that's where he ran, somewhere up there. We still don't know what room exactly he was in. Police know, but that'll be all part of the investigation. And again, that you can see part of the window or part of the door is up on top of the truck. You see that up there? Yeah, it's part of the, look how close the ceiling came. The exit sign is kind of dented on the way out. And then you can see just the front and all the glass and all the metal here. It's going to be quite some time before this is all fixed up and repaired. We can see upstairs, this is where the man went. He's upstairs. We have Baltimore County Fire and more police upstairs. You know, when you come in here to our lobby, as we step over the glass, these are old-time television sets. This is the way it used to look way back in the 50s. I mean, we were the first television station to sign on here in Maryland. And there's you have the film days for Channel 2. This is an old Betacam camera. These are all the antiques that we have inside. And again, I'm trying to look upstairs to see if there's any kind of clue as to where he was, but you can't really see. Can't really see. But outside, we have most of the employees just waiting to come back inside to get their stuff. But upstairs, you can see some editing suites. You see where the light is? That's an editing suite up there. And right to your right, where the police officer just came out of, that's another editing suite. And the general manager, Bill Hooper's office, is about 2 doors down and into the front of the building. And that's where he was today. Yeah, we were just looking at the steps. The steps were all knocked out. Here's the front of the truck. I didn't see this. He hit the wall, too. He is into the wall. You see this? Into the wall. Crashing into the wall. This guy was on a mission. So I'm still a little confused as to, Brian, did he get out on the driver's side or did he jump out on the passenger side and go up the steps?
I think he'd have to, I don't know. I think you'd have to get out this way, right?
Right.
Because he couldn't go anywhere up that way, and he went up the steps to Mike Marion's office, right? Which is up there.
I mean, you got to wonder about the upstairs and the overhang here.
Well, he took a chunk out of the. Look at the crack of the main stairwell. He rammed the stairwell too. Jeez.
He did a number on us. He did a number on us. How deep do you think he's in that wall?
That's a good 15 inches, 16 inches in there? Foot? 2 feet?
Well, since this has never happened, let's walk over to this way. I'll give you a little tour here as we see the truck inside. This is the hallway. I mean, he could have easily gone down this hallway. This is our, canteen. This is where we get our snacks and our $8 worth of coffee. We get that. And then right back through here, we take a left. You have the ladies' room to your right here. And then through here, this is the sales department. And that's the sales staff. I want to go back out to the front of the truck, and we'll give you that angle. Make a left there, Tony. We'll just go right. This is where the sales staff was. And again, all the lights, even the copier is still rolling. There are copies still in the copy machine. All the lights are on in the office. Everybody just scrambled. Everybody just got out. And then we'll take a left turn right here. And this is where, now we're on the other side of the building, and this is where he is. This is where the truck landed. So he could have easily gotten out of here and gone into the sales staff, or he could have gone into the newsroom, but instead he went upstairs. So he banged right into the elevator. And I don't know, did he bang into, let's take a look and see if the elevator's all gone. But we can see chairs and tables all knocked over. You know what? They probably shut this elevator down. Yeah. But it looks like he went into the side of the elevator. Ashton Manor Environmental. That's the truck. It's based out of Montgomery County, we believe. And again, this is part of the door that's leaning up against the love seat in the lobby. Still have all the employees are still outside mingling with Baltimore County Police, who really arrived quickly. You can see part of the ceiling on top of the truck. Ah, boy, it's going to be a while for this. The TV over here, the big screen, not touched. Did not touch it. So, just trying to see if he got into the elevator. Yeah, it looks like he bashed into the elevator. All right, let's go back over. Back through sales we go. But it looked like if you've ever gone through a drill at your workplace or in your school, and they tell you to get out and don't leave anything, well, get out and leave everything, this is exactly what it looks like. The copier, how about that? Still running, still spitting it out. Again, office is still open. We'll go back out through here. And then we'll go around to the right here. And the truck's still here. The truck is still here. So you can see the license plate. It looks like the license plate has been... Okay. It's crazy. The employees, our colleagues, are now coming in to take a look at this, and the reaction is incredible. I mean, they're whipping out their cell phones, and they're taking pictures. And you know, the one thing is, we were all concerned about Anita because this is where Anita sat. All right. Let's see. All right, hold on. We're live here. Hold on. We're live. Josh, can you run it back? All right. This is our security camera. You're watching it like everybody else for the first time. And here's, you know what? We're not going to say a word. Just watch.
Oh, my goodness. Said we're not going to say anything. Yeah, Masco.
Bang.
Oh. Holy bat wings, Robbie.
And there he is. And that's where he comes to a stop, right? He doesn't bring it out again, does he? That's it. Done. How many times was that?
Well,
we count?
Here we go. Go.
Okay, let's count. Now he's through the first.
Yeah.
One.
Wow.
There were a couple of times before he got in there, though. That was like the third time. This is the one we saw, and then we got out of here.
He busted in a couple of times. Kept backing up.
Yeah.
Windshield wipers. What are you trying to do? He was determined. But he was in, though.
There he is, and he hits the steps.
The wall over there.
Hits the app.
Spun up against it.
No, we don't see him get out and run up the steps. No.
Again, Josh.
All right, here it is. One more time, again. As we're watching. So he's through the first layer of doors, the glass doors.
And that's for the first time.
That's the first time. That's one.
Wow.
Wow.
So you really could have got out then.
This is crazy.
Just being more distracted.
And there he goes. Man,
that's insane.
Now, where Josh is sitting, this is where Anita is, and this desk right here is pushed up against that window. So she's sitting right here. So she sees the guy coming up the steps and trying to use his bare hands to get into the building. And then she sees this, and once he did it once, she knew to get up and get everybody out. I tell you, had she waited for that truck to come crashing up, she couldn't have gotten out.
No. And that was something on Twitter earlier today. Is Anita okay? Did she get out in time?
The email you sent out?
Are there any other camera shots? Is that it? Is that the?
I have footage of him.
Okay. Yeah.
Just play that one.
All right, let's see that one.
Well,
Just play that again.
Okay.
In case somebody didn't see this.
All right, you're looking at our surveillance video here. This happened around midday, where a man who wanted to get in with his bare hands told he couldn't. Then he tried to do it with his truck, and he got inside.
Truck that he stole from a landscaping company down the road near 695.
It's not a good idea to be crossing that clearance.
All right, so there you go. So that's it. What else have for you, Josh?
I have footage of him.
Pictures of him being arrested?
Yeah.
All right, well, watch this. Again, we're seeing this for the first.
Me a second.
All right, we got time. We had 6.5 hours. We got a little more time. Poor Anita. Look at her place here. Man, oh, man.
By the time he got through here, Anita was in the back door.
Yeah.
Already in the newsroom.
Yeah, so I mean...
This, right here, this used to sit right here. Anything outgoing that we missed today? This used to be right here.
But the whole desk was...
Yeah, it's moved.
I mean, this is a heavy piece of desk. Wow.
All right, we're queuing it up. We're going to see the man arrested here.
The truck perfectly fit in. So, I mean, perfect fit.
How are we going to get this truck out?
Yours?
That's going to be incredible. All right, here we go. Let's go back. All right, there's the gentleman on the curb here in front of it. This is outside the building now, right?
Yep.
This is right on the curb?
Is that right? Police were apprehending him.
Now, this is our surveillance video. And now he's sitting on the curb, head bowed, in handcuffs, being checked out by the SWAT. Making sure he's not armed. Now they're cutting his shirt open.
They tased him, so they're getting the taser barbs out.
There you go. So
Josh, you
again,
watched this go on? You watched all this?
so again, we're watching the man be arrested, and that's it. And he's hauled off, and
So they were going to take him for what, mental evaluation?
mental evaluation, and then after that, you saw the ambo go right by us. Okay, what do you have now?
This is as the police are all coming out.
All right, this is when the police were all coming out with him.
No, they came out the side door. I panned over to it, but this is what we were able to capture as we knew what was happening.
Now, how long into it? Oh, there they go. Okay. Wow. So what was that then? That was how long into it, Josh?
That was just as he was being arrested.
As he was being arrested.
Yep. And it appears the power just went out.
All right, the power just went out. Okay. Up. You
I'll
got it back?
footage for us so we can
Yeah. All right. There he is again. All right, there's the footage again of him on the curb. Police going in. This is the SWAT team.
Coming through the hot channel, they're trying to call it up now.
And there they go. That's Anita's phone right there.
She was constantly getting calls. They got one call from her daughter, and I told her daughter she was all right and everything else.
You were there when you took her
How many?
to see him, right?
Yeah. How many messages did she get? Just tell us.
I think she got like a couple hundred.
Jeez.
A couple hundred messages of Anita. Yeah.
120 from one.
120 from one person?
Yeah, 118, 208, 120, 62, 165.
Oh, man. You hear this, everybody? Anita got 100 and how many?
100, or I'm sorry, 2 new ones.
2 new ones?
Yeah, from person that she's had 118. She's got a lot of people that were just checking to make sure Anita was all right. I mean, this phone is filled right now with that.
Wow. Well, Anita was a superstar today.
I mean, we love her, so I have no doubt she got that many messages. She talked to us earlier, so emotional coming out. Her son was right by her side, showing up, making sure she was okay. Obviously, she understands. I mean, this truck is right in front of where she sits for 8 hours a day. Just incredible. We all walk through here, go to the bathroom, go over to sales, go upstairs, but this is Anita's office. It's unbelievable.
Here we are on a Tuesday afternoon, Kelly.
We talked about it.
How'd she know she's going to be a hero today? How do you wake up knowing you're going to be a hero?
She's a hero every day when she comes into work because she takes care of us. Yeah. But look at this lobby. We talked about it being a crime scene. Look at the floor. Glass everywhere.
Everywhere.
Pieces of the building just made.
Yeah, let's take a look. Who was the last person to sign in here?
I don't think he signed in.
Reverend Savage. We were shooting Grace and Glory. Reverend Savage was the last person to register to walk in here before all hell broke loose. So there's the guest registry here. A truck. How are they going to get this truck out of here?
I mean, really, I think we're going to be thanking Anita for days and weeks and months to come, because what if she didn't have the training that she has and let him in the lobby? I mean, what could have happened then? You know, I mean, as if this isn't bad enough, but if he was just allowed in here, who knows what would have happened? At least she had the mindset to keep him out for as long as she could and to scream so that other people were alerted. Anita, thank you. Anita Wilson is her name.
Take a look at the top there. Yikes, as they step on glass. Look at this. This is all gone. This used to be a light up here. That's all mangled. All the wood is out. It's wide open. It's open. This is the door that was up against here. That's all gone. All smashed. Hey. I tell you what, nobody got hurt, which is just incredible that nobody got hurt here today. What else you have up there? Anything of interest here that you can show us? As we got a lot of video here that we're trying to get on the air because there's been nobody here since midday, so we're trying to turn that back. We have to get our editing bays up and running again.
Trying to pull stuff up.
Yeah, here in Baltimore County. Yeah. Hey, thanks for your help today. Thanks for helping us. Thank you. Appreciate it. Way to go.
There's a lot of video of just the officers rushing.
Yeah, rushing in. Now let's give them something. We'll show them something here. That's the truck inside the building? Yeah. Okay. So we'll take a look at these are the surveillance, and again, it's all on computer here. Everything's been rolling on.
Even when we're off air, we're rolling.
Every time. It's all rolling. And there's SWAT teams just going in. I mean, they had to move all the mangled stuff out of the way in order to get in there.
We're going to go over.
So they're inside. How many hours are we looking at? 6 hours, right?
Yeah.
Going through it all.
Real footage.
Again, we thank you for staying with us here. It's been an incredible day. We've been off for most of the day. We're back on right now, and we're just doing this all raw. And again, we'll bring out our stories and our storytellers tonight later on here on the news on ABC2. We were, even though we were off air, we were rolling with our cameras and picking up the footage and interviewing the people that protected us here today. Again, okay, and the bomb robot went in. All right, and so they went in there sniffing for bombs too. Sheesh. Yeah, we're just rolling on this. without the truck and trying to get in the building. There you go, one employee. Who was that?
That's the normal stuff. This is the Reverend.
Okay. That's Reverend. That's, the 29-year-old, as the police have told us, 29-year-old suspect rammed inside. Okay, and again, please stay with us here. We're going to try to cue this surveillance up. We're looking at it the first time as you are. Okay, Reverend Savage leaves. There's a lot of to going through. Okay, there he is again. Right. Okay. I'm sorry for that, the loud beeping, but you can understand that the batteries have all gone. Yeah, it should be down there, huh? All right, here he is. This is it. All right, you're looking at the suspect trying to get in first. Let's see, as he tries to pull on that door to get in. He's got a little bag. His back. He's trying to get in. Walks around. Now Anita will not let him in the building. And now he's yanking it. There's Bruce Henn, who we talked to earlier. Bruce Henn goes up to confront the man. He wants in. Now there's a member of our, they can't get in either. Whoa, our landscaper could not get in. Now he's still in the vestibule with them, and all of a sudden, here goes. Now he's mouthing. He's walking around. You can tell he's agitated, can't you? And now he's walking around in circles, and he wants in. And he's pulling, yanking. Still walking around in circles. Now he's leaning against the wall. Bruce Henn moves away. Now we think it's all done. All done. They can go on. And there's Paul Wilkinson making sure that the door is locked. There's Bruce Henn making sure that the door's not damaged in any way. Now he's looking out. And here it comes. He went up the side. See that? He went up the side. He backed back down. Still in reverse. He's at the top of your screen. Bruce Henn standing by to watch this guy come through, and now he's coming through. That's one. There's two. Now he's making it. He backs up again. Now he's stuck. You can see that the wheels are spinning on the sidewalk, on the steps. And then we're back to where we were. Now we had to pick it up. Okay, then we go to the next clip. Okay, now you saw him go up the side on the wheelchair ramp side. Now he's through. And then he backs up again, all the way back. You can tell, look, he puts on his windshield wipers right here. He backs up one more time, and then he comes crashing in to stop. Yay. And there's the truck now. Well, what a day to come to work. Again, we're back out here. This is the newsroom again. And again, we're having our meetings here because nothing's like this happened to us before. So we're figuring out how we're going to manage to tell you the story tonight right here on ABC2 and online at ABC2news.com. We have stories galore. You're going to hear the one from Anita. Anita was just, she's the one that saved our lives. This is Bruce Henn right here. Bruce was right there. He was humble enough when we interviewed him the first time. Yeah, it was close. He was right there. He saw the guy tugging on the door, and then got in his car and then rammed it in. But again, we're just figuring out what we're going to do here. Thank you, Josh. Thank you for doing that. Christian Schaefer, who comes in usually 3 o'clock, working for night side at 11 o'clock. He's on. What are you going to be doing? Do you know yet? Hold on. Let me come over. Hold on. What are you going to be doing?
Take a look at some of that video from inside that we've been looking at and putting that together along with some of the stuff from the news conference that the police chief was talking about, some of the details of what went into this and what was behind it. Just trying to take a step back and look at the perspective of what actually happened and put it together in a more detailed format for 11 o'clock. We'll probably be on there a little before that too. So, we'll just be putting stuff on there as we get it.
Okay. Thank you, Christian. You can see that the desk is back working again. There's Kyle. Kyle's on the desk right now. And on his left side, you have Matt Ford. These are gentlemen that will take your phone calls. And when you call into a television station, you get these two guys with tips or whatever. And have you been receiving a lot of phone calls, Kyle?
Yeah.
I mean, since you got back in.
A couple. People started calling. Joyce from Elk Ridge, my favorite person, called to make sure we were all right and said she was praying for us, which was nice.
That's good.
Good. Yeah.
All right. We haven't even taken a look at Twitter. Twitter's been off crazy, huh?
Nuts. I've never been retweeted so much in my life. It's just, and the tweets are coming in, emails, a lot of email from people saying that they're hoping that we're doing all right. And,
that is great. Well, they kept us going because of the concern out here. Kanika Ware is right behind you. Kanika is the producer for the 11 o'clock news, and she too came in early. Jeff Hager, what were you working on before all this broke today? What story were you working on? Hold on. Let me come over there. Hold on. Let me see here. Okay, what were you doing?
Yeah, the 26th Street collapse.
The
there were a couple of break-ins. Yeah, a couple of people were robbed. So we were down there trying to talk to some of the residents and stuff, and then we got the call to come back.
Okay, and Kanika, how'd you hear about this today? Where were you when you heard?
I was home, got a text from Rachel, executive producer, saying, don't come into work until the area's all clear. And I was like, what is going on? This is crazy.
Okay. Yeah. All right, Roosevelt Leftwich is behind us. He's heading out. You're heading home?
I'm coming back.
He's going to be back at 3 in the morning, and I know where you're going to be live.
I would venture a guess right out there, but it's still just amazing to see. Absolutely amazing to see. Just the damage in there and the fact that the truck is got to be pulled out. But what's great to see is everybody's pulling together to get this on the air. You can't beat that.
Cannot beat that
at all.
Get some sleep. All right, Roosevelt Leftwich leaving us right now. Cheryl, what are you going to be doing tonight? Are you doing the Anita story?
Yeah, we're just figuring out kind of how all of these elements are going to come together. So Anita chatted with us earlier today as she was coming out of the building. She had spoken to police. Obviously, she's a good witness for them. So we'll be turning that sound around. Also, we talked to our employees are now our story. And so, Nick, who was in the basement, you've spoken to him today. We'll go more in depth with him as well. So
okay. Thank you, Cheryl. All right, as we go by. Oh, thank you very much. Take you back here. This is the news meeting, and this is what we'll be deciding on what to cover here tonight. And again, listen, can we just listen in on what we're covering here tonight? What kind of angles as we go over here? Katrina, what do you think you'll be doing here?
We're going to be following up as this situation comes to a close, bringing the truck out and the restoration company coming back in. So I'll keep everybody updated when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Where's Kelly? Where'd she go? Come here. You're a news director of something that doesn't happen. What kind of coverage are we looking at? How do we cover a story like this that happens to one of us?
Well, we're going to cover every angle of it. We have some video that we've obtained because of our security cameras. You've showed a lot of that, but Christian's going to delve into that a little bit more. Katrina mentioned that she's going to delve into what happens when the truck comes out of the building. We know we are going to have to evacuate the building again here soon. They do not want us in the building when they pull the truck out. So we'll see how that goes. And we have other people working other angles. Rosie and Charlie have actually been here all day. I've sent them home so they can be ready for Good Morning Maryland in the morning to continue to cover this and, determine how we're going to be impacted here.
And Kelly, what's it going to be like to be on the air knowing a truck's in your lobby?
It's going to be unsettling, I guess is the best way to describe it. But it's great to know that Baltimore County Police, SWAT team, they were all over us. They made us feel safe. They took care of us. They got everybody out of the building. We evacuated. We handled everything the way that we should. And now it's our opportunity tonight to show everybody what happened today. I mean, from the kids at St. Pius next door being evacuated from their school safely to the people who work here.
Trang's on the other side. We haven't even spoken to Trang here today. How'd you get the word? You were here, right?
No, actually, I was on a shoot.
Okay.
And so we were just on our way back to the station, and
Yeah.
then I got an email saying that we were on lockdown and to not come back. And so immediately the reporter and you still
wanted to
jumps
hear
in,
it,
and so
right.
we did come back, but of course we didn't come to the building. But so we stayed across the street and just kind of held the fort over there until we found out what happened. But just staying on Twitter, staying on Facebook, making sure people were updated, whatever we were hearing. Yeah.
Hey, can somebody run? Hey, Danny, come over here and run Twitter. I just want to. Is there a way we can search WMAR ABC2 and show how many tweets that was up? This is our Twitter board, and this is how we monitor all the tweets that go out throughout the day. And again, we want to just show you all the tweets that we received here today. I mean, there was just one right after another. It's just, I mean, here are the pictures of the front. Roosevelt Leftwich, Mike Masco, just, I mean, people from all over the country tweeting us out, asking us if we're okay and what was going on. Anybody who's worked with us here in the past was tweeting us back because, you know what? Even though you leave ABC2, it never leaves you. And they were asking how we were doing, and everybody felt something here today, whether you were a past employee, current employee, a viewer. I mean, a television station got attacked here today. It was a violent attack on a television station. I'm going to take a peek down here. We're just going on because we haven't been on all day. And I want to take you back here, and we'll peek in on some of the edit bays to see if there's any footage here. That's us there. Anybody have any footage that's rolling right now that you guys are editing? Bill, can you show us anything on... See, we're just back now. We're just back and trying to get the editing up. We're taking our video that we were out in the field with, and we're what we call ingesting into the computer, and we'll see if Bill can get some of the footage here and get it on the air. Again, these are all the clips here. You can see everything that he shot here today is on the clips. And we'll just pick out one. These were the surveillance video in the front of the office. There's the truck inside. And that was relatively early, right?
Actually, I'm not quite sure where this source is coming from.
All right.
So let me...
All right, these are the police coming into the building and just, these are forensic.
Oh, this I think was shot by Don Harrison.
Okay. That was earlier.
Let's see.
And you can see all the damage here. But we'll go through all these clips here. We got a lot of video to go through here tonight. Everybody was shooting. This was what, across the street now?
Yeah, this was some of the tactical units as they came in.
Well, they went in a side door. That door hasn't been used in 80 years.
Yeah, actually, that's our IT friend there.
Oh,
actually
there he
getting
is
out of the
now.
building as he was released from.
That was Nick. Nick was in the building for 3.5 hours, giving police what he could from the basement. That's good stuff. Thank you, Bill. All right, we go over here. Chris is editing something. What do you have in here, Chris? Anything?
Some more stuff from across the street.
All right, let's see something. We'll take a little wide shot here and see what we can get. There's the police coming up. And this is relatively early, I guess, huh?
This is probably about an hour in.
An hour in?
Let me pull something else up for you here, a little closer in. So this is right when we pulled up around, say, 12:30, right there on York Road. You can see some officers outside the building there.
Yeah, when there's the big sign out in front. You can see some of the police activity to the right of it.
Yeah, let me scrub through a little more for you. Again, right out in front of our little home here. It's something you don't expect.
Well, none of the video is going to beat what we've seen about the guy crashing through and trying to get in with his raw hands, his bare hands, trying to pull on that door. Again, a large chunk of York Road was shut down today for almost 6.5 hours. It's been open right now. Anything in the back here, Fred? Anything you can show me that you shot?
Just ingesting.
Okay, just.
Might be another 3 minutes.
Okay. All right, we'll come back.
Okay.
All right. Again, now we can't go out that way now. We just came through here. Now it's all blocked off. This was our escape route, and that was all blocked off now. We can't get out because of the water. The water on the floor. And again, we're just we're going through the other thing. Bill Fink, who was out here earlier, Bill has been across the street, and he was the first camera here at the scene when it all broke down. And then we're going to take a look out here into the lobby. Danny, what are you going to be doing tonight?
I don't exactly know.
Yeah.
But I saw it as it happened, pretty much, because I was sitting here and I got a perfect.
Hey, Tony, come here. Look. All right, let's see. Show me how you were sitting.
So okay, I was sitting here. I was actually going to be writing for the 5 o'clock news, APing for it.
Right.
And as I was here, we heard a few booms. People started getting up, trying to see what was going on. Then all of a sudden, I could see this truck, a shadow of a car on the reflection of the glass, and I said, "That's funny. I've never seen a car that close to that glass." Not even thinking that there's no way actually a car should get up that. And all of a sudden, as I'm looking out, Kelly happens to run in from the newsroom and screamed and told us all to run and get out of the newsroom. And first we barricaded ourselves in her office for about 10 seconds. Then everyone said, "No, you have to get outside. He's coming in." And then we all tore out and went out back.
So look at that. Look at that shot he's got. I mean, that's dead on.
Yeah, dead on. You can see exactly here as it was. It was crazy.
You're thinking, what?
My phone, my everything was here. I was totally cut off from the world. I had to borrow coworkers' phones to call my loved ones and tell them I was okay. But I was glad everyone made it out okay and everybody was safe. Was
crazy. Taking a look out here. Kyle, you were on the desk at the time.
I was.
And Kyle, you felt it, didn't you?
Well, I didn't feel it, but I heard it. I heard the crashing noise, and people started looking out the door, and I came up and I looked out, and next thing you know, I see the car start coming through, and we all started booking it. It's just like people started hiding in offices, started heading out the back door, and out we went. It was one of the scariest things I've ever been through.
At first, when Kelly told us to all get out, everybody ran into her office back here. And what happened was we ran into the office and we shut the door. And then when the guy got out, then we didn't know what was going on. And then the door was closed. Here was the door, it was closed. The man's out of the truck. We opened the door. We ran down the hallway and out, just like that. This is Jeff Herman's office right in here. Jeff, how long did it take you to think this guy could be up to something else?
Not long after the truck parked in our lobby. I mean, as soon as the front end of that thing came through, that's when you started thinking, what's the next thing that's going to happen in here? You know, and then at that point it was, let's get everybody out of the building. You know, that was when Kelly started just yelling, everybody out, everybody out. Rob came through. I mean, he literally, when we got through the back doors back there, actually stopped, turned around, came back, and ran upstairs to make sure that everybody that was upstairs got out.
Everybody got outstairs. Hey, listen, can we go downstairs and show them where Nick was?
That's what I've been wondering.
Let's go. Come on. We'll go down. Let's go downstairs. I guess we'll have to go out through this way. I want to show you where Nick was. Hey, is Nick still around? Is Nick still? He may have. Yeah, he may have. All right. Hey, show me where's Nick? Where Nick was? You got a second? We're gonna go downstairs here. Hold on. All right. Okay. Yeah. So what we have outside, we've got the firefighters and Baltimore County Police still. All right. What we're going to do is follow Josh downstairs. I want to show you where Nick was. And Nick was inside the building for 3.5 hours talking with the Baltimore County Police Department. And eventually, I know we're going to be working backwards here, but when Nick is his office is in the basement there. but when they told him to come out, he came up the steps and he went out this door. We used to use this door for the Jerry Lewis Telethon. That's the last time I remember using that door. And that's got to be 20 years ago. I mean, that thing never gets open. All right, follow me down the steps here. And again, what? Okay. All right, come on downstairs. This is in the basement. This is where we keep all of our computer stuff, our TV trucks, and the like. You can go right on in through here in the basement. Go ahead. Information, and the suspect was about two stories up. All right, let's go back up. Whoop, I got it. All right, I think we're back with you. Nothing works in the basement. Remember that. Nothing works in the basement. Nick, we were down there. Unbelievable. And this is where you got out of, right?
Yeah, I came out this door right here.
This door right here?
This door right here. I came up the steps and out here. And the guy was right up there.
He was right up there?
Right up there, down the hallway on the left-hand side, I believe.
He was right up here. Right up the steps, down the hallway.
In the office, yes. I'm on the editing booth. Yes, sir. It was interesting.
Could you hear it? Well, of course you couldn't hear it.
I just heard him. Put me in the APC, and then I was free man.
What did you put behind the door? A trash can?
No, I just closed it and sat down and just was looking at Twitter the whole time.
Oh, my goodness. All right, Nick. All right, let's go back inside here. Nick's a free man tonight. 3.5 hours on the phone. And again, we'll peek in here to our control room. So everything's good to go? We're up and running?
Yeah, you're up and running.
We're up and running. Here we are. We're back in the air, baby. Let's go back out. We're back out in the newsroom again. We're just trying to compile as many facts and figures as we can. All right, can we go upstairs now? All right, I'll tell you what. Is this where the suspect was? Let's show you. Come on. All right, lead the way. What office was he in? Dave Lashley's? Okay. Okay, we're going to follow you. Here we go. We were just here. Are we good? All right. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to go up the steps.
This is the route the police came.
Again, Nick was downstairs, and the suspect was up here. We're up now on the second floor. Gotcha, thank you. This is the second floor. Back here, we have, these are where the brains of the ABC2 operation is, the wires, the master control to keep us on. And now we're back here. And you're going to be looking at the room where the suspect was holed up for nearly 6 hours. And this is where he was, right inside here. This is one of our editing bays. And this is where he was. So we had a window seat to see all the police activity. He knocked out the doors in the front. Take a look at this. Look at that big chunk. The police blew that. This is police work right here, knocking the door down. You can see some of the damage here on the other side of the, I mean, they were coming in after him. And this is where he evidently watched the news and he sat right here, and this is the room that he watched. He could look right outside and see the police and what they were up to, and he was watching TV. How he knew to turn on these TVs and get them up and running.
Well, they had the edit bay was already up. He was doing some editing, and so he could access the TV. And they took the computer. This is one of our master edit suites for commercial post-production work. And the police, the crime scene technicians, they took the computer that he was working on. He had our Final Cut edit program up.
Okay, now see this fire extinguisher? We heard all about that today. This is where he
discharged that. If you see out on the floor, there's that chemical all throughout the floor. He ran around and discharged the fire extinguisher, brought that in here with him. And you could see how the police came in. They had several taser cartridges they were looking for in here. He was tased evidently a couple times.
Couple times?
I heard the technicians say 2, but I don't know that for sure.
Look at this. This is shelving that's all gone right now. Part of the underneath. No notes left behind, huh? We don't see any notes. Nothing left. What was going on in here before he got in here? Do we know? We were editing?
Yeah, I'm not sure if Dave was in here editing or not. They were up. The program was up and running, so he could have very well been. And when I came up, the technicians were finished processing the scene. They were doing what they do, taking their pictures and notes and schematics of it. And they cleared it and let us come in. And you can see the door where obviously the work to get through here. And
all rubber bullet holes. There you go.
TV the whole time.
Oh, man.
That's awesome.
That never happened.
Should we go back downstairs, try to get a signal?
Yeah, let's go back downstairs, see what they want.
How long have we been on? 2 hours? Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, so you went on at 5 and you were... That was the...
What do you call an air conditioning company with the skills to make any... Trying to get into the door, seemed very agitated. You saw the surveillance video of him being very agitated, trying to work the doors open. Our front desk security guard, Anita, who just saved the day, wouldn't let the man in. He went around in circles, became agitated, told our chief engineer, Paul Wilkinson, if you won't let me in, I got something else for you. Well, he did. So he went back out, jumped in this truck that he stole from the Beltway at York Road, drove it south, picked us out, drove up on the side out here of the steps, couldn't get much further than that. He backed it up, and then he came right up the middle, and I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times before he came in and settled right here. He jumped out of the truck. He ran up the steps, hid out in the editing bay that we showed you earlier. Police then knocked the door down and made the arrest, pulled him out, tased him a couple of times, pulled him out, and you saw him on the curb as he was led away, put in an ambulance, and now he is under mental health evaluation here tonight. Nobody was hurt. Nobody was injured. Anita, who was right here at the security guard gate, was the one who was the first line of defense telling us all to get out. Kelly Groft, our news director, coming through the lobby, saw what was going on, got in the newsroom and told everybody to get out. At first, everybody huddled up in Kelly Groff's office, and then we didn't know what this man was up to when he got out of the truck. We didn't know if he was armed. We didn't know if he was going to do more damage, and then all of a sudden, we knew to get out. We went out to the back lot, stayed there, and knew this wasn't even a great place. So then we went out, opened the gate, a mechanical gate. We did it manually, got out of that, went across to St. Pius and hid behind the school while the school kids were hiding inside their own school. This ended around 4:30 this afternoon when Baltimore County Police went into that room and tased them and brought him out and put him in an ambulance and took him away for evaluation. But what's left right now is this mess. There's a truck. We've been off the air since it happened at midday today, and we are now back on the air since 4:30. You heard the news conference with the county police chief and also county executive Kevin Kamenetz telling us that it's a 29-year-old man who stole this truck. It was unoccupied. It was doing work up there on the Beltway, doing some landscaping. Hopped in this truck and drove it right down here to see us here today. The newsroom that you came in with us, we were in here and everybody is back. It's a somber mood here. I mean, this place was emptied. What you're seeing right now is pretty much how we left it about 6.5 hours ago. Everybody just got up and left. The offices across the way, the sales department, all the lights are still on. The printer's still running. Copies are still printing out. And the news goes on. And tonight we're working feverishly to take everything we shot here today, including the surveillance cameras of seeing him come up first on foot and then in the van or in the truck and ramming it in here. There's a lot of damage. There's a lot of damage upstairs. There's a lot of damage here in the lobby. There's a lot of damage where Anita calls her workspace. And there's just glass everywhere. And one man caused all this damage here today and scared a lot of people in our workplace. The only way we had a chance to communicate with you was through Twitter and also Facebook. And then we thank our sister station out in Phoenix for coming up with some ingenious way of them taking a signal and beaming it back here. And I don't know how the heck that worked, but they did it. And we've been on the air since 4:30. York Road has been closed. I mean, this is a major portion of York Road to the city line. It was shut down for a long time here today, and they've reopened it around 4:30. And we have a flatbed that has just shown up. Are they about to take this? Are they going to take this truck out tonight? Let me ask and see. Yay. And the tow truck is here. Who called the tow truck? All right. Let me ask you if we're going to... Are we planning on towing this thing out tonight? Yeah. Okay, we're going to tow it out tonight. Unbelievable. So we're going to watch this tow truck pull up. You know, hey, Mary Beth, we were talking about former employees who took this hard, who took this hit as hard as we did today. And here's one of them, Mary Beth Marsden.
Hi, I had to come. Man, wow, surreal.
This is the first time you've seen it?
Yeah.
Come on up, take a look. It's all gone.
Wow. That it's worse than I could have imagined. Oh my gosh, I've been thinking about you guys all day.
No.
And I have to say that I can't believe it ended as well as it did. I mean, it was the best case scenario. So I hand it to everybody.
Anita was sitting right here. Without her and without Kelly Groff telling us to get out, we don't know what this guy would have done. I mean, he went right up the steps.
I was trying to describe, this as I recall, back in the day, Scripps was one of the first companies to kind of really get the security going at the front door.
I think you're right.
And we were all kind of like, what? We have to have a key pass, and we have to go through another door. And we remember when they put all this in, And we thought it was a little bit overkill at the time. Now you're probably going to have more. But, you know, it's amazing that this truck could do that much damage.
Have you seen the video? Have you seen the surveillance?
I saw it.
It's been unbelievable. There's the car right before it rams through the truck right before, and then we showed it earlier about the guy coming up, and Bruce Henn was right here. Bruce was right. Look who came today. All right, I'll get out of the way here as they clean up. Now they have one tow truck and one flatbed as they're going to try to move this truck out of here tonight. Now there's word that we have to evacuate again, just in case. So we'll see what the idea is here. I'm just going to take them. I want you to listen to all the damage that's left here. Listen to all the damage. This was all glass, right where the chief is walking. All glass. Metal, glass, steel doors. So I don't know what's on top. What's on top of there, Timmy? What's on top? Can they just, they could just pull that off? Pull that off? What was in that truck? What was in that truck anyway? Let's take a look. There are a bunch of pylons, a bunch of orange cones, a bunch of canisters in there. Looks like a water cooler's in there, but no mulch. He wasn't carrying anything heavy in the back. And here comes the tow truck. They're pretty much going to try to pull this out. So they're moving the big doors that he crashed through. And they're just going to pull this truck out of here tonight as we lean back and watch this unfold. So you've seen him ram into the building 5 times. Took a left turn. You saw him be arrested right there on the curb. We took you into the room upstairs where he was watching police the whole time, and also where he was upstairs and watching the news, finding out what was going on. Chief Johnson told us earlier that the man will be mentally evaluated tonight, and you saw the ambulance going north on York Road around 4:30 today when he came out. This is going to be something to watch when they pull this truck out of here. How you doing? You got a guy with a vacuum. Baltimore County firefighter with a vacuum. How long are you going to be here tonight with that?
I have no clue.
All right, there's a lot of glass all over the place. Again, I'm going to try to see if I can peek in here to see if there was anything in the front seat that he had. Now, they had said that he had bayonets. Bayonets were in front of here. I don't see any bayonets. Nothing of note that's in the front here. And I don't see anything left on the ground. All right. As part of the entrance is going now. All right, now we're going to just take a look here. And I mean, they're pulling this away now. The front lobby is coming down. Yeah, we better back up here. The front lobby is being torn down now.
It's going to become a hard.
It's coming. Man, what's that, sir?
It's going to be a hard head area real quick here in a minute.
Yeah. Now you're going to pull this out. How are you going to pull this out?
Very slow, like a mega move. Very slow, very methodically. It's got to thread between those 2 load-bearing concrete columns.
How tough is that?
It's difficult. It's like a mega move, slow but methodical.
Tell me, when's the last time you pulled a truck out of a building like this?
Fire Station 6 when it burnt there in Snowmageddon. We took the Humvee out.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. So there'll be one tow truck doing this, huh?
We'll see.
How close to the top? Are you worried about that at all?
Well, we don't want to set your sprinkler head off and cause sprinkler leakage damage. We're going to be very cautious with your building.
Okay.
Trust me. Very
Thank you,
cautious.
sir. Very good. There he goes. Baltimore County Fire Department planning it out here. All right, now they're calling for the maintenance guys. Again, this is just all. We're just rolling our cameras. You're watching what we're watching here and making sure what we can do here. I'll tell you what we'll do. Hey, Tony, I'll go around the front. I'll go around the side there, okay? Okay, all right. We're going to watch this. We'll go outside and go around and watch this truck be pulled out and see what's... Again, the chief of Baltimore County Fire said they're going to be very delicate, and it's going to be a tough job trying to. And remember that during Snowmageddon, where they pulled the Humvee out, the Humvee was in, and they pulled it out to safety. It's going to be kind of the same exercise. But you know what? These guys are well trained, and they know exactly what they're doing here. We'll take out this exit. And there's the tow truck down here. And we'll just watch this tow truck pull this big dump truck out of our building. Katrina Bush is shooting it right now. You can see inside that they're on top of the truck. And again, as the fire chief said, they're going to have to meticulously bring this truck. You see those two pillars right there, one on both sides? So the two pillars, they're going to have to bring that truck right through those two pillars without denting them at all or even moving them at all. So this is going to be a very delicate operation to do. And I tell you what, you got to be very impressed with what Baltimore County Police did here today and now what fire is doing. Right, Timmy?
Right.
Again, there's so much metal and so much loose stuff in there, scrap metal. You know, it was ironic. One of the first Baltimore County police officers to arrive was in the scrap metal unit. And she had no idea what was coming. And then the other units started arriving, and now how they're going to back this truck, this old Ford, this Super Duty tow truck is going to back up and pull this big truck out of our lobby. Yay.
We're cleaning up. We're already cleaning up the edit bays upstairs. We saw a hole in the wall. And that's basically what they took him down with. That's a rubber bullet.
That is a rubber bullet.
Yeah.
Show it closer. Let's go. Where'd you find that?
In the edit bay where he was on the computer watching TV. They did some damage when they took him out. The lock went straight across. You saw that when you were upstairs earlier. But that's what it looks like.
Wow. All right. Now we're on the outside of the lobby. And again, there's so much loose metal that they're going to have to take because they don't want the truck coming down back and hitting one of these pieces of metal and angling one way or the other. So they'll try to clear that path out as best they can in order to back this truck up. But man, it's at an angle. So, but you know what? These tow truck drivers are incredible. So they'll know how to handle this. Just a lot of damage. So he went up 1, 2, 3, 4 flights, 4 steps in order to get in. And again, he started on the far left here. and he went up as far as he could on this side. I mean, there are chunks of concrete yet. So he went up this high, couldn't go any further, backed it down, then came up this side, right up through the middle, and that's where he landed. So he took that glass and strong door down right here. And then he just landed right in here. Here comes the tow truck now, backing it up. All right, they're backing it up. Again, they're going to have to do this very carefully, so they want to get it at the right angle. The right angle. This is Sullivan's Garage over there on Pulaski Highway, Golden Ring Road in Rosedale. They're the ones that are pulling this truck out of the building here tonight. And here we go. They'll fasten this to the back bumper, or the back, to the big part of the truck. All right, it's fastened, and now here comes the second part. When's the last time you did something like this?
It's been a while.
So what's the idea? What are you going to be, what's the idea here?
Just kind of bring him back out the same way he came in and center him between the poles.
Well, this ought to be fun to watch. This is the last time we're going to see something like this. That's right. All right, they're up. They're just taking a look. Anything dangling from the ceiling, you can see, yeah, there's a piece of metal. They want to get that out of the way. And again, they have to be careful with the sprinkler system up there. We've already had severe water damage, but you know what? Get this thing out of here. And what they're going to try to do, here's the problem right here. They want to get it between this and that. That's what holds the building. So that's why they have to be very delicate. All right, he's getting into his truck. He's going to figure a way out of here. And here it goes. It's got its brake lights on. And we have to move back just in case. Bring that baby out of here. Just making sure everything is in place so they can pull it out. All right, it moved a little bit. It went up a little bit, up to the ceiling. All right, here it comes. It's angling out. Okay, some of the ceiling's starting to go. Some of the ceiling's starting to cave in. But you can see they got it lined up perfectly. Look, he missed the left side. He's trying to get it up there. Watch out on the right side. He's going to hit, hold it. He was getting close. Now they'll pull it back in and then pull it back out again. I mean, to come this far and just see the top, the roof damage there. All right, so the right side is up against the pillar here.
It's got a little bit of breathing room. So we'll see if we can just angle it out just a little bit straighter and then pull it out all the way. Trying to see if where he was. Okay, he didn't have a vantage point over on this side of the building. So now we're making sure of who's up on the roof. All right, let's see. Okay, are they jumping in the driver's side here? I don't know if they are or not. Let me see. I see somebody leaning over there. I guess they're trying to make sure that the building can go straight. Under the truck can go straight here. The first television station in Maryland was attacked today by this truck and the truck driver who stole the truck from the Beltway at York Road, headed south, crashed. First, he came up with his bare hands trying to get in, trying to pull two ironclad doors trying to get inside our building. We wouldn't let him in thanks to Anita. And then he told Paul Wilkinson, our chief engineer, all right, I got something else for you. He hopped in this truck, which was parked right in front of the building, hopped in, came up the left side, banged into the building, backed it up, went straight right up these steps where you see the truck now, crashing into the lobby. Everybody got out except Nick, who was hiding out in the basement below, and for 3.5 hours, he talked to Baltimore County Police. He was in the basement while the man was upstairs here in one of the editing days, had a window seat to see all the Baltimore County activities. He was watching on television, keeping a close eye on the news coverage. And then police went in, banged into the door, used rubber bullets and tasers to take the man down. You saw him arrested out here on the curb. And he's now in the hospital seeking mental evaluation. And now what we're waiting on is for this truck to get out of our building. The St. Pius School was on lockdown. And they allowed us in today to use their facilities. They couldn't have been better neighbors. It doesn't look like that truck is going to. It looks like that truck's going to take down what's left of the overhang. All right, they're backing it up. See that on the right side. As soon as they can clear that pillar right there, we should be good to go. I don't know. Is there an arch up there? Is there an arch cover in the back of the truck there? Yeah. All right. So what they're going to try to do now is yank it on the right side just a little bit to even it out. Looks like it's got plenty of room on the left side, tight on the right side. You have to miss those pillars. And he's sizing it up now. And he'll hook it up.
This truck weighs for it to be this huge for them to be able to pull it out like this.
I don't see how they're going to save the overhang.
No idea. But they've got a lot of people moved out of the building, outside in the back with some editing stations set up to keep them safe, just because we're concerned about the stability of the building.
All right, here comes the truck. Again, it's close on the right side. Looks okay on the left side. Whoop. Yeah, see the chief? Give him the okay. It's about 1.5 feet. He's got 1.5 feet to the left. He's still trying to angle it over. Now it's down to about 6 inches on the left. And again, when was the last time this tow truck driver was on television pulling a truck out of a building? That's a lot of pressure on him right now, you can imagine. They're going to open up the back. And again,
it's almost a perfect fit, too, to get it out between those two barriers. I don't know how he went in there without knocking down the concrete barriers.
All right, see that? Right now they're pulling the roof down of the truck because they know that's going to take out the overhang. All that's left. Everything's got to go, so again, they're just pulling it down to see if they can get it through. Let me walk up there and see how much further they've got. Yeah, it's a tight squeeze on the right side. Tight squeeze on the right side. Wait a minute.
His backup camera.
What's that?
You're going to be his backup camera because he can look through and see that TV when he's backing.
When there's a delay. How long's the delay?
How much do you think the truck weighs?
Enough. Well, there's a 1-ton truck. It's empty, so.
All right, now you're gonna use our monitor to back it up.
Well, we can keep a little bit of an eye, but you got a little bit of a delay. But we're going to creep real slow. We're going to thread the needle.
What do you need us to do? We'll keep focused on that.
What he's doing right now.
All right, keep an eye on that. All right, we're going to be like the rear view mirror here. He's going to be looking. There's a monitor on the left side. So the man who is pulling it's a 5-second delay. It's a 5-second delay now, but they're going to be looking into the monitor to see how close they are on how they're going to back it up here and miss these pillars. So now they're using the TV monitor of our live broadcast to see how close they can get to bringing this truck out. So this is Sullivan's. They've been around forever. Tow truck operation.
Looks like they're trying to get some of the metal bearings from the side of the truck before they try to pull it out. The right-hand side of the truck.
Okay, again, we have to... Again, Baltimore County Fire Department is here. I mean, they're pulling this big truck out of here. Again, we're watching the top. We're watching the overhang here. And again, here's what we're concerned about the overhang. We're concerned about the pillars, banging into the pillars. If we bang into the pillars, we could lose this. This structure could come down. All right, here we go. We're going to close the back doors up. Looks like again they're climbing up. They're going to try to take at least the top of the truck off. So, and now they're going to saw. They brought out the saw. Yeah, they're going to try to take the top of that truck off, and who knew that was going to come off like that? Look at that. All right, easy, fellas. All right, there you go. Now the little overhang, the arch is going to be okay. So they took the arch down. And that looks like it can clear. Does that look like it can clear to you? That looks like it can clear now, right? Mm-hmm. We're setting it in place. It's a tight squeeze here. They're making sure on the left-hand side. He's up there on the left-hand side of the back, making sure there's... Now, the other side came off relatively easy. Let's see if there's another piece of metal over there that he can take apart. And it looks like that part is coming too. Man, these guys know what they're doing. Smart guys. Again, the other tow operator is in the front. He was on the hood, making sure everything was pressed down so when they bring it out, that nothing hits the top of the building here. Nobody panicked. Everybody just doing their job, knowing what they're doing. Nobody getting excited. The chief has got everything under control here. The tow truck operators. So once we pull this baby out, we'll regroup and get ready for the news tonight. But we thought we'd stick with this for a couple more minutes. You can see part of the truck is angled now to the right. The right front wheel is turned in toward the newsroom. The back wheels are pointed right at you. So we'll see how we can bring this baby out. All right, lights are on, brake lights are on. Let's get out of here. Here we go. Come on, baby, bring it out. Looking good, looking good, looking good, looking good, nice and easy. Missing on the right. Missing on the left. Don't worry about that. You knew that was going to go. Very careful. Looks good, looks good. All right, well, they missed the pillars now. That's the most important thing. But we're still watching upstairs there on the overhang, just to make sure that that doesn't make the truck swerve one way or the other. And that is heavy. That's a heavy piece of metal right there. I mean, it's almost, we're almost to the front door. The wheels are almost completely out of here. Hold on. Well, that's tough upstairs. He's saying it's solid. It's solid up there. Now they got a hacksaw. They'll use that maybe to cut the metal. The middle of the overhang is completely gone. That's been taken out. So now they're just figuring out about this big piece of metal. What's that? Well, hey, listen, we'll take that over, get this thing out of here.
Well, we want to get out safe.
Yeah.
We want our guys safe.
Oh, absolutely. What part are you worried about? This part right here?
Yeah, it's up in the sections of height. It's going to probably catch with the center glasses out. It's probably going to catch and pull it. If it does, that little sun canopy will come down. So you guys want to, it's going to be, it'll probably make you jump, so you just might want to get back.
Chief says, going to make us jump. Look out. Going to make us jump. Look out. Glass is going to...
right, here we go. We're going to yank it out one more time here. Let me see how far down it is. 1, 2, 2 steps down. It's got a little bit more to go yet, and then it'll be out. Hey, how proud are you of your men and women here today doing this?
Absolutely. I mean, the Baltimore County Police Department, the police chief did a stellar job. I mean, absolutely stellar.
That went about as perfect as you can do.
It was fascinating. That's all I'll say. It was fascinating.
Yeah, fascinating for us. These guys know what the heck they're doing. So what will happen now, Chief? They'll just back it up, or?
They're going to bring the low boy in back there, load it up, and pull it out of here. Leaked a little bit of power steering fluid, that's all. There's no diesel leaking or anything.
So this baby is gone. They're going to bring the flatbed out of here. Hey, fellas. I want to talk to these guys because these guys were incredible here tonight. Come here for a second. You did a hell of a job.
Thank you.
How tough was it? I mean, we watched it. We looked at. Come on, don't be honest.
It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. It was a little turn, but once we got it straight, it come right out.
Unbelievable. What was the most delicate thing you had to be aware of?
The canopy.
Yeah.
The canopy coming down because the roof trusses were hitting it.
Hey, you did a hell of a job, man. Thank you very much. There he goes. Sullivan's Towing down there in Rosedale. All right, they're going to bring the flatbed. Hey, having a hand for Sullivan's, man. What a job. What a job they did, huh? All right, now what they're going to do is they're going to bring this flatbed around. Here it comes. And they're going to stick the flatbed underneath the truck and haul it out of here, and that's it. Again, nobody hurt. A man is in the hospital undergoing mental evaluation. There was an attack on the First Maryland television station today at noon. Anita, our security guard, Kelly Groft, our news director, should be praised for saving lives, for telling everybody to get out. The evacuation worked. If you're at your work tomorrow, make sure the boss has an evacuation plan in place. We never thought it would happen to us, but it did. We're going to be back on at 10 o'clock tonight on ABC2 News at 10 o'clock. We're going to have an interview with the